All right. Welcome back to episode 8 of the Barren Lands. I still need to share my screen here. Episode 8. This episode is titled Showdown or Mystery. And that pretty much describes exactly what may happen in this episode. Now, just to remind the players, make sure that you unmute your Tracks app at the top left side of the screen if you want to hear the music that's going to be queued up for the session. At the end of the last session, we left off with Valenti and Hector witnessing some kind of basically large object falling from the sky and smashing into the ground. And then when they looked into the crater, which was kind of over in this direction, they saw what seemed to be some items that had fallen from the sky, and they retrieved them, and they did indeed seem to be items, but they can tell you more about that when we jump in. Bailey. Faylene was not here for that. Now, I want to give a big shout out to our partner level Ko-Fi supporters, David and Solstice. Thank you so much for supporting all the content. We really appreciate you keeping the lights on over here at GM Philosophy by being patrons of the arts. And so if anyone would like to check out the Ko-Fi community sponsorship, link is in the description. You get all kinds of cool stuff when you do that. But for now, we are going to dive into the story. Kelf is not with us quite yet. He apparently is still missing in the magical vortex that took him up last time. But what Hector and Valenti see at the beginning of this session is kind of right out here in the snowy area, kind of out in the middle. They see these beam of light come down from the sky, and they see these swirling, twirling, luminescent threads of color, almost look like a rainbow and sunlight all swirling together. And then there's a large zapping sound, and snow flies in all directions. And once the snow clears, Faylene is standing there. I'm going to put her token on there. There we go. Do you all have control of your tokens at the moment?
Oh, I was going to say, I can't move my character, so I wasn't sure.
Okay.
I can move mine.
You can move yours? Okay. Let me fix yours. All right. Now can you move it?
There we go.
Awesome. And that is where we are going to start off. So it is an open game. Chat, I'd appreciate if someone watching could let me know, double check, make sure you can hear the music that's playing. I just like to double check to make sure we're not going without music. Make sure I did it right. But hey, Jason, good evening to you as well. All right. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and go right into it.
I have a question.
Yes.
When we get taken up, are we just sort of in a stasis, or are we aware at all of anything that happens while we're gone?
So here's what it felt like to your character. You felt like you kind of were just walking, and then suddenly you saw this blinding light and then darkness. And you kind of felt like you fell, like you tripped forward. And for a moment you felt like you were falling, and it was very, very scary. But then suddenly you blink, and there's another flash of light, and you're just standing on the ground. And for you, it is as if no time has passed. When you reappear, though, I would like you to roll percentiles for me.
Sure.
Now, Hector, when this happens, the instruments in your pack, they just start to buzz and beep and vibrate.
That's a 39.
39? Okay.
Yeah. As soon as the light hit, Hector pulled all the instruments out to check them all.
Oh, then Hector would have, if he would have pointed it at the scene, he would have seen that it registered a whole 3.0 maximum reading as soon as Faylene zapped into being. The needle went all the way to the top.
Yeah.
And Faylene, when you appear, you see everyone you left except for Kelf. You do not see Omen, but you also see the white orc through the trees there. You see that she is there, and you see that her mask is off, actually. She kind of has it pulled off and is kind of hanging, it's like hanging behind her.
Mm-hmm. Faylene, I think, being very confused by this experience and also in a new place because this is not where they were last time she was with them.
This is kind of
totally wrap her arms around herself and just she probably hates this experience, and it probably makes her stomach sick going through whatever magic phenomenon is happening to her. And I think she would just kind of look around and be like, hello, where are we? What happened?
Faylene! Luna comes running over to you.
Last time I saw you, you had spikes.
I still have spikes. I'm in this form. She looks like Luna, like you saw her before. And she's going to say, where were you? Where did you go?
I don't know. I was there, and then I just saw light, and then I ended up back here. I don't even know how much time has passed, and I think she might start clutching at her stomach like she's gonna puke a little bit. What is going on? Did you all... Where's Lizard Man?
We've been traveling. This is Lotto saying this, and we don't know where Soul is. He is still gone. He disappeared just like you.
I completely forgot. How many days have passed since they disappeared? Was it just one day?
It was only one day.
Okay. Melanthe will walk up and stare in confusion and says, "You're gone for a day."
A day? Well, wherever I was, it did not feel like a day. I will tell you that right now. I don't like that. I don't like that. She might even puke a little bit. We won't describe that, but just a little vomit.
Will step to the side.
If she pukes, Luna would kind of kneel down and hold her and try to comfort her in a friendly kind of way.
A day is a long time. And I see we have someone else. Are we far? What? You must tell me what happened, because it was all darkness. That is all that I saw while I was gone.
And Valenci says, "We moved to a different campsite. I figured it would be safer when we attacked the rock creature. But you disappeared along with Soul. So we figured perhaps you had returned home."
Unfortunately, no.
Well,
you see the orc girl, and her mask is off, and did Faylene see her without her mask before, or is this a new thing?
I don't think so, actually. I think she had her mask on the whole time, and it was at least at a pretty far distance. She had to kind of shout to communicate to her or
Gotcha.
the group down there.
So, actually, you guys go ahead and talk for a moment. I'm going to grab a picture of her without her mask on real quick.
How best to explain this? Vilanthe, I guess, will look over toward Hector to see what he's doing.
He is still beside the fire, and he's looking at his instruments, completely oblivious to everyone.
Of course. And she looks back over and Delancey will explain the entire situation. As far as
Faylene, did you watch the enough of the last episode that if
think so.
if Valenti wanted to kind of fast explain, you feel like it would?
Yeah, I think so. And I'll just play along if I miss something. But you met the bear, you met the skeleton man, and Vira.
Yes.
Yeah, Valenthi would probably not explain too much about the bear and
Okay.
the let's say the rock creature, but she would explain everything else that happened, I guess, in group wise. I guess best to explain that. So that would be with Vira, Hector meeting up with the I guess the other I guess person creature,
The skull.
yeah, the skull. And
you also see that they're carrying some new items, which you guys might describe what she sees.
Yeah, tell me about your new looks.
actually
Here's an image of what Kerrigan looks like without her mask.
Oh, she's so pretty.
She looks very feminine, very white skin, blue eyes, little tusks, some scars on her face, but that's what she looks like.
She looks like an ice queen. Okay.
yeah, the ice queen.
Ice queen.
I forgot what to. I know she got the scimitar and she got the armor, which we said it would probably be studded leather.
Yes.
She said
Lotto
it was
is wearing a pair of boots.
Yep.
That are white with a bear emblem on the front.
Okay.
It
And the
really
other two
matches your
items you
tent
can't-
poncho. Or your bedroll poncho.
Thank you. They were form-fitting. I believe they are magic.
Well, I'm at least glad we don't have to worry about your toes freezing off now.
He nods.
And she'll explain that they will be heading to the currently 10 miles south to the cave. And with this, Valenthi will start trying to ponder if Soul is going to return, which is going to change her idea of the fort then, because now she's going to have to, because of what the who was it, the rock or the bear
Which
that
part?
explained about being that the dragonborn.
Oh, well, Vira talked about that a little bit.
Okay.
She was like asking about the dragonborn, and then Hector was like, "You're looking for our dragonborn."
And also, I think it was either the rock or the bear that said that he wouldn't find favorable outlook in the fort as well.
Yeah, I think that was the bear.
Yeah, I was trying to.
And
remember.
Vira gave us a variation on that. Something about what you'll find in the south won't be what you're used to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Would you express any of like hesitation about the fort or anything like that?
As far as Valenthi?
Yeah, like would you verbalize anything about differentiating from plans to continue on to the fort?
Upon seeing you, she'd still keep her, I guess, calm, thinking in her head, but she will probably, after she explains this and then sees Hector, she'll try to go back over to the fire. I know she was trying to head, because there's a storm brewing right now currently, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so she would head to the back to the fire, get everybody there to explain that they're going to the cave and such. and she would ask Kerrigan. She would turn to Kerrigan and say, Do you know exactly what people are at the fort, the South Fort? Have you seen them? Are they all elves, or are there different races?
I've personally seen the fort once, but not close up. It was from a distance. And I have talked to one other person who was at the fort once. They said it was mostly elves, some humans. They said there was one dwarf. That was over a year ago.
Who are the allies to the orcs?
She kind of sighs. We don't tend to have much quarrel with humans. The elves certainly aren't our friends. We don't encounter many dwarves up here, but when we do, I mean, we don't tend to really have an issue with them. But allies? There aren't very many humanoids up here in the north who we are allies with, except for far to the west. There are some tribes of humans that we trade with, but they're a long ways off, and they keep to themselves, perhaps even more than we do. There are some wild, I guess you would call them wild humans out to the west. We would even call them wild compared to us, which I think we're called wild. Now, keep in mind, she's speaking giant right now. So anyone who doesn't understand giant, she's like, anyone who would call us wild would call them even more so.
Valancy nods. I understand. We have similar humans. But you don't know, what do they call it? The politics of the fort. The humans that are there, I've been told that they're under the thumb of the elves here. How different are these elves from myself? What is their goals in this world?
Our people tell stories of elves coming here using powerful magic to mine minerals, gold, silver, iron, and other materials out of the mountains. They come here to do a thing where they pay to go to the wilderness, and they pay guides. I don't really understand why. It's almost like they want to go to the wild, and it's almost like an activity for them, which is strange to me. I don't understand. There's a word for it. Tourism. I've heard this term, but I do not understand it.
Valancy lifts a brow at that. And tourism. This is all backwards. It sounds
That's all gibberish. That's enough gibberish. Come over here, girl. And he points to the orc girl.
She's going to walk over to you.
Just stand there for a minute. And he touches her, and he pulls out this tiny little cigarette that he's found in the component pouch. And he goes, I'm sick of this gibberish. It's time for us all to understand you. And he casts tongues on the orc girl.
Oh, okay. She takes like a deep breath, and she's like, I feel like I can speak your language now.
No, you're speaking your language. We can understand it.
Oh.
And that's for everyone. You can all
Okay,
understand
so
it.
everyone can understand her now for an hour.
Yep.
And Valancy will say, so the elves do this when it should be humans or dwarves. Dwarves don't mine iron. What do dwarves do here?
I don't really know. I've never met many dwarves. I've only met humans. I met one elf one time. And then she kind of like looks down as if she's thinking. And then she's like, I've heard that dwarves live in the Southlands, like the far south. Like they say that there are lands even beyond the southern continents, balmy, hot places where mountains spew fire and they say that the dwarves live in those lands.
Very well. Well, we should get down to the cave. Can you lead us there now before this storm gets worse?
She kind of
We'll
perks up.
talk
She's
as
like,
we
yeah,
walk.
we should go fast. This weather's going to get bad fast.
And Valencia will start moving and following after her, and she'll continue talking.
Okay. Now, before you guys really set out, Lotto is going to kind of raise a couple of hands and signal to you, Faylene, that he kind of wants to talk to you. And he's going to kind of pull you off to the side if you would allow him to.
Yeah, she'll follow him.
Listen, I'm happy that you have returned. Not happy for you because I'm sure that you would have rather gone home.
I would have, yes.
But the truth is, I am not a very fast-moving person compared to you. And well, the truth is that you should have these. He reaches down and he pulls off the boots that he's wearing, and he like gives them to you. He's like, my feet are pretty sturdy, but these boots have special properties that I think you could make better use of.
Are you sure?
And then he hands them to you, and you notice that on the front. I'm sorry, I made a mistake earlier. I said before that they had a bear symbol on the front, but the boots have the skull symbol on the front. There's like a skull symbol on the front.
Gotcha.
I got those mixed up, but I'm gonna send you what they do in a private Discord chat message.
Oh, man, this is so exciting. Thank you. But Faylene will be very, very, very sure. Like, she wants to make sure that he really feels comfortable with this, because I think she's still worried about him being underdressed.
He's going to put his hands together, just kind of bow, and he's going to say, he says, my master used to say, slow and steady wins the race. I think he just told me that because I was slow, but I am steady. I do not require this footwear.
That is very generous. I don't know much of other people's. Is this how you say thank you? And she'll repeat the bow.
Yes, this is a sign of respect and honor. He kind of bows.
Yeah, she'll return the gesture. She's like, this is very generous of you, and I will not forget. And if you need anything, I will help you retain it.
He says, you didn't perhaps happen to fetch some salt and pepper while you were gone, or maybe a sprig of thyme, or a bit of lemon.
Unfortunately, I did not, but I think we could probably do better at finding herbs when the storm is over, no?
Maybe if anything can survive here. You see that he's cut himself a walking stick. Now he's just walking. He starts walking. All right, so you guys start traveling southward, and you can talk if you want to while you travel, but she's gonna lead you to this cave she was talking about.
Yeah, Valencia will just keep pace with her, and well, she's gonna keep talking to her and asking her questions, unless anybody else, if anybody else is doing anything before she starts doing that.
Faylene always stays in the back, so it just depends on how much faster you guys are moving than everybody else, whether she can hear or not.
Give me one moment. If anyone is watching the YouTube feed, maybe close your eyes for just a second, because there's about to be a little spoiler while I quickly load this next scene. All right. I need to grab these characters here. Give them a little copy. Is that everybody? Yeah, that's everybody.
Is this the same cave we saw earlier, guys, or is this a different cave?
No, this is different.
Okay.
This is a cave that Kerrigan says can offer you shelter from the coming storm, and she says she's stayed in it before. All right, we're going to switch scenes here.
Well, that's going on. She will ask a question as far as the giants here. And she'll be,
So the giants here, they were so easily to work with Vyra. Do you know of any who would stand against them or against her?
It's possible. The tribes that attacked our people were probably the tribes furthest to the west, but there are other tribes further to the east that are more, what's the word you say? And then she forgot she can speak tongues now, so she says they're more devout. They're more fundamentalist.
That maybe there's groups or individuals who would stand against her as giants go, because I would figure they have their own culture.
They do. There's a king to the east. It's possible that this king does not agree with the decisions of the others. However, it is also true that we would have to travel a great distance to speak with him, and it is not altogether a safe journey. And these frost giants are not known necessarily to be our friends either.
As well.
Kelf is in the house.
Kelf.
Now, you guys can't see anything right now, can you? It looks all dark, right?
No.
Yeah, there's like fog of war on.
Oh my gosh. Darkness.
Now I'm going to adjust this. I got to really make sure not to ruin this. I've got to be very careful.
Hector's feeling quite at home in the dark.
Let's see if I do it like this. What do we got? Oh, that's just the area. Okay. Whoops. That's not lighting it up, is it? Let's see. Oh, I see. Okay. There we go. What is this? Okay, now. Can you guys see these areas that I'm unfogging or not yet?
I think so. I see the little,
Sort of.
yeah.
There's no map underneath it.
Okay, very good. Then I need to do this. Oh, wait a minute. That's not quite right. Now, can you see map underneath it or no?
No, still blank.
Still
I
blank?
believe.
I'm having a little issue with the fog of war. I'm trying not to show you, and I'm afraid I'll click the wrong thing. I don't want to do that. Okay.
I can
Did
see
that
you cutting it away.
Can you? But you don't see the map underneath it.
No, I'm gonna try refreshing and see if that changes it.
Is that because our tokens aren't in this space?
The tokens should be, but now they're blacked out too. I'm just having a fog of war issue, and I think I double fogged it by. Okay, I'm gonna try a different thing here. I think if I go out to the map and I adjust this. Okay, let's try this.
Hey.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay. I see now. Okay. Can you see your pieces or not?
No.
No.
Then let me do this. Is that doing it? Okay.
Nope.
This is what we gotta do.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, something's going on here. What's going on?
You probably need to select that big rectangle and just click unhide.
Maybe. I'm having a heck of a time.
It's okay. The fog tools are a little tricky.
Okay, now this should be fine, but then it goes away. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, because it looks like you already cut it out.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, you can have like multi-layered fog.
Mm-hmm.
You can, but I'll be honest, I do not exactly know. Can I quick select? Whoops. Okay, I see. Let's do the brush. I'm just trying to get the edge of the cave here. All right. Okay.
So, considering the event before, Hector would have his instruments out as he's walking towards the cave.
Very good. Very good. All right. Okay, there. Now the cave, the front of that cave should be revealed to you.
Yep.
Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, Shabam. We're in business. All right. Now, if you point the stuff at the cave, you do not. Oh, wait a minute. We got to describe Soul popping in.
Yep.
So you guys just walk up to this cave. The wind is starting to whip around. It's starting to snow heavily. But then suddenly, there's another scene with this light coming down from the sky. And this time, Faylene, you see it too. It's this beautiful, bright light. And it seems to come just from out of nowhere. The sky is clouded. But then you see this bright sunlight looking almost like rippling light come down from the sky. And then there are these threads of like rainbow light wrapped around it. And before you know it, there's this bright flash. And then there's this, it's almost like this pulse flies down from the sky and slams into the ground. Snow flies in all directions. And then before you even know what's going on, it dissipates and you see Soul standing there. Now, Soul, your character was this is what happened to your character. You were walking along, and then all of a sudden there was a flash of light, and you felt like you were falling through darkness for just a split second. And you were like, oh my God. And then, poof, you land right here, as if no time has passed.
Interesting.
And now you see this cave, and you look around and you see all your friends, plus that white orc girl.
Interesting. I'll kind of like look around stunned for a moment and be like, where am I?
Now, you should roll me percentiles real quick. And Hector, once again, when you have your instruments out, when this happens, if you point it at it, it registers a straight 3, just a full read. All your instruments go to maximum.
That is a 71.
Yep. 71. Okay. Nothing unusual besides what has already occurred.
And what do the instruments, if Hector's pointing them straight at Soul, what do the instruments read now?
So once the flash is done, the instruments very quickly go down to a 0.5, a 0.5, which is still reading higher than usual, but nowhere near as high.
Yeah. No worries. Golden Boy, good to have you back. You have a nice little teleportation.
Is that what happened? Everything went black for a moment. I felt as if I was falling, and now I'm suddenly here. Where are we?
The same thing happened to me. They said we've been gone for a day.
This experience is just getting stranger and stranger.
Luna's going to run up to you. Soul! She's going to grab you in a hug.
It is good to see you, Luna.
Lotto's going to walk over and slap you on the shoulder. I'm sorry. I thought maybe you had gone home, but I guess you were not so fortunate.
It does not seem as that is the case. I am unaware of where I was, and everything. It was as if I just blinked for a long period of time, as if everything was just paused for a moment. Hard to describe. I'm just glad that I'm back and everyone is okay. It would have been my undoing to know that something terrible had happened if I was gone.
One thing that you do notice is that it looks as though Faylene is wearing some new fancy boots, and you see that Valenti has a scimitar that she did not have before, and she's wearing this fancy white armor with a big bear emblem on the front. It looks like studded leather armor.
Cool. And
Hector, would he see any implements on you?
No.
That are visible? No. Okay.
No. At the moment, Hector hasn't put them on yet.
Gotcha.
He's
Okay.
got them in his pockets.
I'll sort of bring my own attention to that and just say, I see that you have been outfitted with some new gear.
Faylene will look at Hector and Valentia as in to be like, yes, like tell them what happened.
Luna's going to say, it fell from the sky. It literally fell from the sky.
It fell from the sky.
Lotto is going to say, forgive me for my presumptuousness, but it would seem as though perhaps there are beings here who were seeking to help us, and they delivered aid to us in the form of these items. This is what it seemed to look like to me.
That's what it feels like to me. We met the three prevailing forces around this area. Vira, the agent of darkness. We've got Skadir, the curtain puller. He makes sure the curtain stays in place between life and death. And we met the Great Bear. Well, Valenti met the Great Bear. I didn't. And then after that, we almost got wiped out by this meteorite containing these items. Looks like the presence from two of the three beings we met. One being the boots that Valenti wears. You can see the skull face emblem on them. And the others, as you can see in Valenti's armor, are from the bear.
Now, at this point, I'd like everyone to roll me a quick perception check. And then Kerrigan would say, well, it's probably about time we go into the cave, but there's just something that I have to tell you about this cave. Me and my people, sometimes we do hide in here when we are passing through.
Oh.
No, everything looks fine to you. No problem.
Yep.
She says, sometimes we have hidden here. I've hidden here many times. There is warm air that comes from the cave. We do not go any deeper in than only the entrance. There are tales that there are old things in the cave, not to be disturbed. So we very respectfully remain to the outside of it. Whatever is there shares it with us on occasion. This is the custom. You guys notice, actually, no, by the time you get to this cave, you would have been traveling for quite a while. So actually the tongues would have worn off by now because it was a 10-mile journey. So it's getting to be close to the end of the day, actually, at this point. Later afternoon.
So Hector, obviously very tired from a long journey on one leg. So he casts Detect Evil and Good at the cave entrance there.
Hector detects nothing at the cave entrance. Who had the highest perception check?
I had a 13.
So then.
No. Okay. No, you don't see anything. But no, all seems to check out, Hector. No good or evil at the cave entrance. So what would you guys like to do?
Yeah, Valenci will tell Kerrigan to lead him in.
Says, well, we should go in then before the storm freezes us.
Kerrigan starts to walk that way. You see her kind of grab a stick. And then she's going to turn and say, Can any of you not see in the darkness? You might want to light a torch or something.
I will cast light on my shield.
Kerrigan looks at you fascinated. That is magic that you're using.
Yes. Divine gifts from Lathander.
Okay, so Waz, you can detect aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of yourself.
Yep.
Let me think about this for a second. There is no Hallow spell active, but Luna lights up just a little bit from the spell.
I actually expected her to light up.
Yeah, she
It's
lights
fine.
up. She lights up a little bit. So Kerrigan is going to go inside, and is anyone going to follow her in?
Yeah, Valenci is following next to her.
Yeah.
So,
And
as you guys-
Hector will follow closely, but slower.
I will kind of bring up the rear. Wanting to make sure that everybody who is going in, is safe going in.
So
Yeah,
you
Failing
see
will stay here.
Kerrigan kind of go over here. Now, as you guys start to go in here, you do hear the sound of running water coming from inside the cave. And if you look, you actually see there's a cavern right there. But you notice that Kerrigan goes here and then she just stops. And then she kind of just puts her stuff down and starts to sit down.
Valenci will scout over here and around this area.
You hear Kerrigan say, wait, don't. You're not supposed to go in there. No further than this point. The water is not for us. At least that's what the stories were always told to me on hunting trips.
Valenci will stop and look, and she nods and says,
Well, that's fine. This should suffice for now.
Now, but if Valenti looks in there, she sees that this water is just pouring down into this little looks like kind of like an inner cave lake, and there's steam coming up off of it.
Is it warm in here then?
Yeah, actually, when you walk in here, you start to get really warm, and you feel these warm waves of air blowing towards you.
And she's like,
Luna and Lotta coming inside.
Oh yeah, they are. I have it.
Just making sure.
Yes, they're coming in. Kerrigan just kind of rests up against the wall. Actually, let me section here. Yeah, right. Kerrigan just like rests up against the wall right here. You get the sense that she acts a little bit uneasy in here. Outside, you hear the wind beginning to howl a little bit harder.
Valenci will look over at her and say,
Why do you look uneasy here?
Because we are not alone here.
Should I be prepared?
and then she grabs her bow.
I don't know. I mean, she kind of looks at Valenti and she's like, the stories are that there is Fae in this cave. So I don't know if you have as much to worry about as I do.
But you stayed here before.
Oh yeah, I've stayed here 3 or 4 times on far hunting missions, scouting missions, training. And I know of many who've stayed here. We stay here because it's warm. The air blows warm and you won't freeze in here.
Then, if you stayed here before, there shouldn't be any difference. It should give us enough rest and hide from the storm for now so we can plan our next move. Which, I suppose that Soul is back. It's going to be problematic.
And she's saying that in giant, but before she speaks to Soul, she'll look over at her and says,
I need to go to the fort. I know that you don't wish to travel there, but...
Is that what you're saying to Kerrigan?
yeah.
Okay.
And she'll say,
but I need to understand what kind of people are here in order to get a bigger picture. Do you understand? To get a lay of the land?
Kerrigan kind of looks downward and looks at the ground, and you see this sad look across her face, and you see this like one lone tear kind of like fall down her face, and she says, I understand. I also know that by now all of my people are gone. If there are any left, they've already escaped, and we're not going to be of any use to them.
I think if there are other tribes, your people are going to have to come together. However, without allies, I don't think you will win against this Vyra. So we have to get all the knowledge that we can in order to at least formulate a bigger plan. But right now, my concern now is that Soul has returned.
Valanthi will walk over to Soul.
He says, I was hoping you would return to your home.
She says to Soul.
It does not seem as if that is my fate yet.
No. For the group, it doesn't seem that we're not just surviving anymore. We refused this Vyra, some Fey queen that wishes to take control of the north here, North Call, whatever they call it. And she...
Luna's going to say Norskal.
And she offered a way home for us, but we refused her. I'm not side with malicious creatures. So this is it. I suppose somehow we're in this together now. But I was told that there is possibly obstacles for you at the fort should you decide to enter it.
Me personally.
Sorry.
Faylene and Valanthi should roll me a quick perception check.
Oh, man.
18.
Let's see here. 20?
Suddenly, both of you, and you hear this, like, it kind of like echoes throughout the cave. And you hear this, hey, you can come in. It's okay. You hear this just like voice in common echo through the cave. But if you look around, it doesn't look like anyone else heard it. Only Faylene and Valanthi hear it.
Who said that?
Valanthi will look toward the cave. As she waited for Soul's response.
He asked me personally What exactly do you mean?
I was told that Dragon Porn here.
Let me see. Oh my gosh. What was the notes? What exactly what was I told?
So Vira, Lotto was going to say, Vira seemed preoccupied with you, concerned that you were not here, wanted to know where you were. He kind of looks over at you, Hector, and he's like, to me, the Dragonborn's presence seemed to make her nervous. Hector, is that how it struck you?
Nervous is probably the best way of describing it. Gee.
I do not know what to make of it.
Almost worried, I would say.
And are they referring to the orc woman here?
No.
Vira.
No, Vira is was the woman who appeared and talked to them in the last session.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
And Valanthi will say also was Pionir or like she can't remember which one it was. It was the Rock or Pionir said that he would not be looked upon favorably at the fort.
Oh, yes. I believe that would have been the bear.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I think it's Pionir, the Great Bear. Yeah. So I think he's the one that, she'll say,
The Great Bear told me that you would not be looked upon favorably at the fort.
and he told her of the story of the Dragonborn as well. What was it? I'll jotted some notes down. As far as the they have even the elves fear them.
Yes. Yeah.
So she'll explain that even the elves fear them. And what was it? Why? What was the reason? Because of they hold some sort of.
So that part,
Let me see.
I'm not sure that part was mentioned as the why.
Okay.
She might have said something like because like they're superior, they're the chosen ones.
Yeah. So
To that
that's
effect.
yeah.
She wasn't very specific.
And they're So the only thing she remembers is that there would be trouble. There might be trouble for him at the fort.
Yes.
So that's what she would explain to Soul.
Well then, I guess we will have to be on our toes when we venture there.
Delancey says, yes, I need to scout that area. We need to...
As Valenci is staring into the cave, trying to peer around.
As Valenthi is looking at the cave very much, she sees a little what looks like the little flickering of a green light over here, almost like there's a light there, and then it disappears up the tunnel, almost like a green candle flame.
I think Faylene would be a little petty, and she would kind of shoot a look over her shoulder and be like, or maybe we just shouldn't go. It still seems like a bad idea to me, and I didn't want to go in the first place. And maybe you should go do something else outside with me instead of going into the fort.
Valenci will look over and says,
It seems that we're going to be here for quite some time. This idea of going home is looking to be harder. Now we have factions who have noticed us, asking what sides we're going to take. Like every world, we can't just sit in the fence. Everyone wants us to pick sides. And now we have this Vira who has focused in on us. We have the orcs who are being slaughtered by giants because this Vira created an alliance with scorpions and frost giants. If we don't know the lay of the land, we are just going to be pawns in this. I don't want to go to the fort. I hate going into anything that deals with cities and villages. I've stayed away from them, but I also know that we have to gather all the knowledge that we can.
Hector, Soul, and Valenthi. Roll me a perception check real quick. Go ahead, Valenti. Sorry to interrupt.
And
18.
she just finishes by saying,
Knowledge gives us power, or at least an edge. And eventually, if these orcs are being slaughtered, we should probably help them. But in order to do that, we have to know what people we stand against.
Hector's
So-
tired and he's just looking at the ground, wondering where the fire is.
Valenti, you get actually you got one last time, but I'm gonna give you an inspiration point for the plot line role play. If you already had one, I hadn't used it yet, just go ahead and have one in reserve. You can have two.
okay. Actually, I think I had one before then too, so I haven't had a chance to get to use them yet.
You can just keep them in reserve. But did I hear that someone rolled 13? Soul,
I got an 18.
an 18. So while they're talking, if that's where your character is sitting right there, he sees something. The you see outside, it's kind of white out there, but the wind is starting to howl and there's snow blowing. But then he sees something strange. He sees right here a little form peek around the edge of the cave and look in, and then it moves away. Looks like a head of something, but it's hard to tell because it's just white background and snow out there.
Are they within 30 feet of Hector?
Yes. However, Hector doesn't pick up anything.
Oh, that's fine.
Yep.
It goes for 10 minutes, that spell.
Yeah. No, it's still up, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, let me double check one more thing. Let me just double check. No, he does not pick up anything. But Soul, you see that something kind of blocked the light for a minute, little something in the corner, and then moved again.
Yeah, I'm gonna head over to the entrance of the cave to see if I can see what that was.
So you get to the entrance and the wind is just blowing. I mean, the snow is starting to kind of pile up, and Soul has to wade up into snow up to his knees or higher when he gets out there. Roll a perception check when you get out there.
Actually, I would like to cast Bright Sparks and
Okay.
cast it in front of me as I'm walking out there. So this is going to illuminate a 60-foot range and give me advantage on perception checks.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you do that, and then you should roll perception.
So that is a 20, a soft 20.
Oh, wow. All right. So, let me double check here. Do I have did I not put that in here? Okay, one moment. I've got to add something here real quick. All right. So you look around and then you see something, actually. You see something over here trying to hide behind the rocks.
What the fuck?
And it's just, you see it peek out, and then when it sees that you see it, it pulls its head back in. You see what looks like a metallic dome head with one large singular eyeball.
I will gesture towards it, kind of like leaning forward, trying to, take in whatever this thing is and say, "Please, do not hide from us. Please, come forward. If you are trying to find shelter."
Roll a persuasion check as you do this.
Oh, that's an 8.
So you see its head kind of peek out from the rocks again. It seems coaxed to peek around at your voice, but it still looks like it's not moving. It's just watching you. And sure enough, it is like a metallic seeming head with one large eyeball in the center, sort of behind a glass lens, looking at you.
I will say to it, please, come into this cave. The weather is no business for an automaton or a warforged of your sort.
So you see it take a step out, and it's little. It's like 3 foot tall. And I'm gonna show you exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
Just
I'll usher to him and I'll say, "You will be buried in the snow if you do not come in."
It is actually getting buried in the snow. Let me add the portrait here so I can show you. All right.
Looks like it'd be a Pokemon.
Is it here? Wait, is it loading? Yeah, here we go. Right? Yeah.
Igor.
This is what it looks like.
What the hell is that?
It looks like a small steampunk-looking figure with a metallic body and what looks like an organic eye floating in some kind of lens at the front of its head.
I guarantee you, the moment we get this, the moment I can coax this thing into the cave, because Soul is not going to think this way, Hector is probably going to jump on it about this thing is probably like a divine eye that's watching us.
But so you see it like it kind of walks forward, and when it walks forward with a very cautious, curious sort of movement, and it seems to approach you very cautiously, like it's a little afraid of you.
I will show faith and say, please come in, and I'll sort of like turn my back a little bit, showing that I'm not posing a threat to it, and I'm offering this creature my back to show that I do not fear and it should not fear me.
You hear its little
into the cave.
Pitter-pattering footsteps follow you at a distance of about 5 feet or so.
Okay. And as I head in, I'll say, there's a creature out here in the snow. It seems as if it is an automaton or a warforged of some kind. I've never had the opportunity to meet one, but I've heard the stories. And I kind of gesture to it as it's coming in.
You guys see it walk in, shaking the snow off of itself. And it just kind of looks around. You notice it does not seem to have any kind of mouth fixture. And you notice it does not seem to be making any sound, except for the sound of its metal feet pattering on the cave floor. And it just kind of stands right there in the doorway looking around.
I, Bailey, think it's adorable, but Faylene would not. She'd probably immediately stand up and be like, what in the holy name of Halnessus, Minthara, and Elgay is that?
Luna's going to say, I've never seen anything like that.
From where the world I came from, we had creatures known as Warforged. And, automatons, golems, metallic in nature, though. It seems as if this may be a similar kind of creature.
Valencia will ask Kerrigan.
What is that right there?
I don't know. She looks at it like with this bewildered look. She kind of walks.
What is her falcon doing?
It's just riding on her shoulder right now. It's been on her shoulder this whole time. Other than when you guys were traveling, it flew a bit. But it seems like when the wind got bad, it landed on her. But she would walk up and look at it. And she's like, "I've never seen anything like this. What? It's made of? It's made of shininess, like what your armor is made from." She points at you, Soul. It's like made from the same material your swords and weapons are made from, like a metal.
Yes.
How could such a thing exist?
Magic. Magic that I do not understand.
The creature does this little thing where it kind of thumps its hand on its chest, and you see it's got a hand. It has one posable thumb and 3 fingers, and it holds up like 1 finger and then 3 fingers, and then it taps on its chest again with like a little rhythmic thump, thump, thump.
It's like a metal child.
So that's his name, 13? Would Valency's
Is Valency gonna say that?
Yeah.
It kind of looks over at Valanthe and nods its head, and then it shows a 1 and a 3 again, and then it taps on his chest.
13. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's going to kind of very sheepishly inch into the cave and then sit down kind of like right here in the corner, kind of near Hector and Kerrigan. It's just going to like crouch down, put his hands around his knees, and just sit there and like look around.
I think seeing Valenthe's response is very confusing to Faline, just with the little she's pieced together that Valenthe does not, really participate in necessarily like big civilizations. So she'll look at Valenthe and be like, do they have these on your mountain? Are these safe? Are these normal?
No, but it's been a strange world here. It does remind me of one of my creatures, though.
How do you know it's not dangerous?
I don't, but I'd rather not provoke it until we do.
And
I
she'll
don't like it. It's got a big creepy eyeball.
When it hears you say that, it kind of like taps on its eyeball, and then it just kind of like looks at you, and you see that its eye doesn't blink ever. It's just floating in some kind of liquid within that lens holder, and it's interestingly devoid of any expression. It seems incapable of giving any expression. Thus far, the only movements it's made to communicate have been to move its hands.
Valenthe will try sign language and see if she gets any reaction from it.
What is she going to say in sign language to it?
She says, "Hello, my name is Valanthe."
That's actually interesting. Let me double check something. It just kind of looks at her, and then it holds up its hands, and it kind of does the sign language back at Valenthe, but not super well. It kind of says, "I am Valenthe," back to you, but it gets a couple things wrong. It seems to be mimicking you.
Valenthe will look at everybody else and says,
Did anybody else hear another whisper a while ago?
Yes.
Kerrigan's like, "What?" She like turns around. Well, no, wait, you probably said that in common, though. So never mind. She wouldn't say that. She doesn't understand. She's watching the little metal guy.
she's like,
she doesn't seem super happy about it. She does not like the looks of it.
So would Hector be able to work out that this creature actually understands languages because of the response to the 13 and naming themselves?
It did seem to understand Valenthe and respond to Valenthe's common.
Yep. So Hector will place one hand on the little robot thing, and cast use his second level spell slot, or whatever it is, that level spell slot, and cast tongues again.
Okay. Tongues on the creature.
Yep.
All right. Let me see here. That's interesting. I have to. Okay. So the creature just kind of looks up at you, Hector. And like I said, it doesn't really give expression. It just like looks at you with its eyeball, and it just stands there. Well, it's sitting there. It's sitting on the ground. And it just sits there.
Okay.
Valenthe will look over at Faline and says,
Oh, since we have visitors everywhere, what did the voice say to you?
It said that we could come in. Mm,
she'll speak.
Hector, you notice that when they're talking, the thing looks over at them. Like, it seems to look at whoever's talking. You notice. Anyway, go ahead, guys. Sorry.
Not so good.
Valanthi will look over at Kerrigan and just ask her,
I heard a whisper.
A what?
It said that we were safe to go further.
Oh. That sounds like a bad idea. I've never gone further in. I've never heard whispers either. I don't know anything about that, other than my people have always said we don't go into that cavern. We definitely don't go past it. Lotto's going to say, sounds like perhaps superstition. Perhaps old stories that are not relevant anymore. Sometimes superstition is passed down. It doesn't mean anything anymore. And then Luna's going to say, yeah, but sometimes superstitions protect you from things you don't know about or understand.
Yes, but to blindly follow tradition is to live a blind life.
Sometimes.
The little figure looks at you, Soul, and it shoots some sign language at you. Does Soul speak sign language?
No, he does not. Dwarvish and Draconic.
Okay. Valenthi, you speak it. Does anyone else speak sign language?
I do.
You guys see that the thing signs to
everyone
Soul.
Can. Sorry, everyone can.
Oh, that's
spell
right, because it's
tongues.
got tongues on it. Okay, so you can all understand its sign because of the tongue spell. You guys see it basically asking Soul, and Soul, you see it too. Are you blind? Like a question.
I say no. I can see just fine.
It's gonna just kind of nod and then kind of walk up past you guys up to here, and then it kind of looks around. And then it kind of looks back and it signs back at you guys. It's like, I don't see anything.
I think Faline would kind of like poke its eyeball. Right next to her.
It just kind of like moves its head back a little bit and just like looks at you with a very it doesn't have any emotion or mannerisms. It's just a floating eyeball and then a metal face. So it doesn't make faces or anything.
Signing. She'll sign and she'll just say, "What do you want?" I don't know why I said it in an accent. There's no accent in sign language.
It's gonna sign back. It says, "To be safe from the storm."
Where do you come from?
It's gonna sign. Let's see. It's gonna sign far to the south.
What are you?
It's gonna say a construct.
Do you look at things or do you do anything else?
It's gonna say, let's see how to say this. It's so interesting. It's going to say, it's going to sign to you, my purpose was to find the Dragonborn.
Ooh.
And it just like stares at you and looks at you just like, no problem. And then it would say, secondary purpose, record and document.
I knew it.
I don't think this thing should be in here with us, personally. I personally think it should go.
Was Soul able to understand? You
Yes.
said it. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
'cause it's
Hector
tongues, you
cast
should
tongues on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
It's very interesting. I never ever thought about tongues being cast on this thing. That's so funny.
I'm gonna
Anyway.
ask who sent you to find me?
So it's gonna say something, and I think that because of tongues, you would understand it, even though you've never heard it before. Let me double check real quick something. I've got to double check my notes. Please hold for like 5 seconds while I check my notes. It's going to say Dr. Franz Belkin. And then it'll add my creator.
Lovely.
Hector using his telepathy will project straight into the 13 receptors, asking him which university are they from?
It would kind of look at Hector for a minute. Let me think about this. Would it know? And then it would say University of Magic at Amaranthine. And then it would raise a fist pump, and you would hear in its mind, it would say, "Go fire bees."
Fire bees.
I don't like that.
Guys? No, we want this guy hanging around, guys. He's part of the researchers that we first encountered, that first dead body.
In the
He's come
shack.
from that same university. Yes. He's come from the same university.
Valanthi will pull out the amulet that Kerrigan had given her that has the symbols that were friends to her.
Yes.
And show it to it.
It's going to kind of look at the amulet. I mean, you just see its eye point at it, and it's just like looking at it. It doesn't really make any, it doesn't say or do anything when it's just looking at it.
And it says,
"Is this symbol familiar to you?"
And then it would sign, yes, University of Amaranthine. And then it would point. It'd point, and it would like touch the symbol. And then it would say Alchemical Department.
She looks over at Kerrigan and says,
"This thing belongs to the ones that you said helped you."
She would nod. She says, "It was an elf."
she's like,
"So you said that we could find help with these people then, and this thing could be, it could be a help to us then."
Kerrigan is going to kind of like look down, and she's like, "If this thing came from elves, I can't predict how it would react to us. All I know is that you and Faline would likely be welcomed." Me?
She says, "But you said that
I don't
you
know.
had help before from this amulet you gave me. Did they help you? They were friends."
Yeah, they were. So there was a time, and this was back a while. This was over a year ago. I encountered a girl wandering the slopes. She seemed to be lost. She was wearing some kind of long robe, like a shimmering robe. She had pointed ears. She seemed nearly frozen to death. I found her on a hunting trip, and I rescued her. Then we got attacked. We got attacked by a pack of dire wolves, and she saved me. She used some kind of spell, like lightning literally came out of her hands, and she chased the wolves away, and she did save my life. And she told me that she always heard that we were savages, but she thanked me and she gave me the amulet. And she said, if I ever run into an elf, if I show them that, she's like, and I tell them her name, then there's a chance that they would spare me.
What was her name?
Her name was Eliana.
And she says, she'll walk back over and says, how did you know about the Dragonborn here?
It's going to sign to you. What would it say? I'm trying to think of how it would explain this. Okay. It's going to say, in sign, it's going to say, my master sent me to Vyra. She sent me here.
I see.
And then it's going to sign Vyra, Mistress of the West. And then it's going to sign, she's an ally. And then it's going to show another sign. It's going to say, not a friend, an ally. And then it's going to say, friends are different. You can trust a friend.
Valencia would just like look at it and it's like, well, this keeps getting a little bit more troublesome, doesn't it?
He looks over at Soul.
Well, what do you wish to do with it?
It looks up at Soul expectantly. You see its big blue eye just like look right at you with an expressionless gaze.
I sort of look over the rest of the group and say, what is everyone's feeling on this?
I think we should get rid of it. I think it is not good if whoever sent it can see us through it, potentially. And it sounds like they know this person, this Vyra, who rest of you have made an enemy of. We shouldn't let another thing in the flock.
I just cannot in good faith send this thing out into the cold to potentially die.
It is a metal thing. It's not a person.
It is still a sentient creature.
I can mercy kill it if you would prefer.
Absolutely not.
Valencia says,
How do you keep track of Soul, of the Dragonborn? Through your eye only? Or how?
It's going to sign to you a question. What do you mean keep track?
You said you were here to study him, to investigate on him. What is your objective?
It's going to say, sign to you, document, observe, keep him in sight.
And all this is through your eye.
It's going to sign, my eye and my hearing receptors. And then it points to the side of its head.
Valenthi looks at Soul. Until we decide something, perhaps we can blind it and deafen it. At least it'll keep alive, but Vyra seems like a very dangerous person here that we made an enemy of. The queen, or future queen. She slaughtered these orcs. I understand your will not to trade
Hector,
one life
roll
over
me a
the other, but
perception check real quick. Hector, roll me a perception check. Anyway, continue, guys. Sorry.
it says, well, I guess it's up to you what you would to do since it's latched onto you. But if it's keeping tabs on you, more than likely it also keeps a location for Vyra and the rest of us.
Yes, and I
Plus
do
the
not,
12.
I do not wish to put the rest of you in danger.
So, Hector, as they're talking, you hear a noise. And at this point, the wind is blowing straight. I mean, the blizzard outside is just... You can't really see past the doorway, but you hear a noise out there. It sounds like a crunching. And you feel a little bit of a tremor beneath your feet.
Has the temperature changed significantly?
No, not at this point. You still feel that warm air blowing from inside the cave.
Hector will move further into the cave finally. I think there might be something looking for shelter as well.
The little thing knocks on its chest and then it signs to you. And then it says, Vyra's here.
Oh. Oh.
And then it holds out a hand to Soul. Like it kind of steps forward and holds out a hand to you.
In what respect? Like it wants to shake my hand? It wants to guide me somewhere?
Almost like it wants to guide you somewhere. And then it signs, I'll take you to her. You'll be safe.
Oh, I look down at him and I say, I'm quite all right on my own, but I will step forward to the front of the group.
So all you see is the wind howling in the cave entrance, right? But outside, you can hear the unmistakable sounds of what sounds like crunching snow, and there's like a kind of a grinding sound. And you all start to feel the rock beneath your feet sort of tremble a bit.
Hector's trying to put as much space between him and the door.
The tremors begin to pick up. You see Kerrigan put her mask on, and then she gets her staff out, and she's like, "What's going on? What is that?"
No, but we're not alone, so everybody try to find some sort of cover.
I'm going to draw my sword and shield, have them ready.
Valenthi's going to draw a bow as well.
So then something happens. Through the snow at the entrance of the cave, suddenly you hear what sounds like this shearing rock sound. And then bursting through the entrance, you see one of those giant ice scorpions just come through. Snappers snapping, stingers stinging. Everyone roll initiative. And then add your initiative to the tracker.
Well, I'm going to use one of my inspirations.
Gotcha. Go for it.
GM, just
Yes.
as so I know how many spell slots I have. When we were gone and taken into the dark abyss, did that qualify as a long rest it's totally okay either way, but just curious.
Actually, that's going to be a percentile roll, and if you roll above a 50, yes. If it was below a 50, it is not. And Soul, the same for you. If you roll above a
Okay.
50, it qualifies as a long rest.
Woo, 53.
There's a 50% chance.
Okay, 85.
All right,
Yes. Great.
And then, do you guys remember how to add your your initiative to the turn order?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So this thing is just burrowing in, like it's right here, snapping at you, like crunching the rocks along the sides as it comes in. And is everyone's initiatives complete and in the thing? If so, it's Valenti's turn first. Valenti, what are you doing?
Bonus action, Hunter's Market.
Hunter's Mark.
And then all right, so
It's like just coming through the entrance, this large scorpion.
I'm gonna go ahead and do a first shot. Now that she's 5th level, all right. So get one of my arrows.
Hector, now you realize the temperature is starting to drop dramatically.
So 1, 2, 3.
You were asking about it before.
Yep.
15.
A 15 will hit.
All right.
The arrow slams into its face. It's like snarls. Roll
That's
damage.
gonna be 8.
8.
Plus, let's see. So 8. Okay, so sorry, I'm trying to
No,
get all
you're-
this together.
Soul, you can go ahead and start your turn as well while Valenti is rolling and stuff like that.
Soul is going to position himself in front of the rest and say, "You crawl in the cold and strike from the shadow, but you cannot outrun the light." As that's a nat 20, so damn.
Oh, crit.
As I'm casting Guiding Bolt.
So anyway, I do. Mine was 16 damage for the.
All together?
That's for the first hit. The next one. Sorry, I'm a little slower on these things.
No, you're fine. Go for it.
So 16 damage on the first arrow, and then I'm going to attack again. That's a 27 to hit.
27 will hit for sure.
So that one will be. That's 21 on the second hit.
21 damage.
Yep. Now, because of Morthiel's guidance, I'm going to do a second shot. It gives me... my third shot. And I can only do this once per day or for a short rest. Gives me a plus 10 to hit, and if it hits, it gives me a 15 damage bonus.
Ah, very nice. You guys see arrows just shooting out of Valenti's bow. Faylene, Luna looks over at you with panic in her eyes and says, "Should I use my magic?"
Just
So that
wait
would be
1 minute.
24 to hit. So
24 will hit.
that's 36 damage.
36.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Nice.
So you hit it, and this one, the scorpion, you see this black greenish blood just spray from the wounds, and then you see it kind of make one more lunge, and then it falls motionless onto the ground.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it for me. So,
Okay, did you want to take your movement?
yeah, I'm gonna stick there.
All right, now. So Soul, you didn't actually have to use your action quite yet, so you should hold for just a moment From outside, you guys hear this booming shout. And those of you who've heard her voice, it sounds like Vira's voice. And you hear, "So, I knock at the door, and this is how you respond, with arrows and blood. Dragonborn, my quarrel is not with you. Please, come stand aside. This filth you travel with, they are beneath you."
I will shout out to the entrance of the cave and say, "If that is the opinion you hold of my allies, then your quarrel is with me."
Now, as they're talking, you guys hear the cave shaking. Like you feel it shaking even more. The tremors are getting bigger and bigger. And then you see this creature just get yanked out of this hole, and then you see it as it gets yanked out. You see that this is happening while you guys are talking. You see another, like, 2 scorpions come up to the hole, and they're just like peering in. And then Soul, you can kind of see there's a little bit of a lull in the snow, and you see Vira standing out behind them. She's got a staff, and she's talking to you from outside the cave. And then she's going to say, "Listen, Dragonborn, you're different than the others. You are valuable. If you'll just stand aside, we'll take care of this rat posse, and then we can have a decent, civilized conversation. How about that? This is going to have to be my last warning, though, because even my boss has limits. I'm supposed to deliver you alive, but that's totally optional if you resist. He wants you for his glorious purpose. This is not a glorious purpose I particularly am inclined to share. I'll just tell him that you resisted, and I'll be off the hook. So let's not press our luck, right? Why don't you come on outside and stand aside?"
So I have visual on her, right?
Yes, the wind has actually died down. It almost seems like she might have caused the wind to die down so that you guys could see each other. You see her tall white hair, wild white hair. Her dress kind of looks like flowing snow. You see that the snow she's standing on is covered with these like snowflake hieroglyphs. Her fingernails are painted blue. She has this white skin, but she has these like dark eyes with these like and these like dark lips. And when she opens her mouth, her teeth almost look a bit like fangs. And she has long pointed ears, like maybe like she's some kind of like fey creature. But she's definitely got some darkness about her.
In the back of Soul's head, and he is Hector saying, "Trust no fey."
Then you guys feel the cave shake even more. And then back in here, you hear what sounds like back here in the cave, you hear some rocks fall off this wall and like tumble down onto the ground. And they even fall into this lake.
Wait, what fell down in there?
Some rocks fall off this cave wall and kind of bounced on the ground and fall into the lake.
Okay.
You guys see this little thing walk up behind Soul, and it holds out its hand and it tries to take your hand, Soul. It reaches up like it wants you to take its hand.
I will look at her, and I am going to sheath my sword and I will step forward and say, "You see, strangers, rats, as you said, expendables, fools to be called." And I turn back and look at all of them, and I say, "I see warriors, people of worth, of will, of light. They are not my blood, but they are my shield, my fire, and my purpose in this frozen hell. You speak of choice. Which so hear mine. I reject your twisted mercy and coward's ultimatum, and I return your offer with the fury of the rising sun." And if you will allow me to utilize that nat 20 guiding bolt that I...
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool. So that is going to be 27 points of radiant damage right to her face.
Uh-oh. So it just streaks forward from your hand and flies through the air right between the scorpions, and it just hits her in the face. You see this bright spark of flame as she like her head like jerks to the side. Her staff drops out of her hand as she like brings up her hands to cover her face. You see like smoke coming up from the flame. And how much was it? 27 points?
Yeah.
All
27
right.
radiant.
27 radiant. All right. Now, when that happens, everyone roll me a quick perception check.
Also, for what it's worth, she is glowing with a golden light. So whoever does decide to hit her next has advantage.
Oh, so she's glowing. Okay. It's like fairy fire kind of.
Yeah. Very much like a momentary fairy fire.
You're at 21.
So you hear, for the moment, the tremors stop, only for an instant. But you also see this little guy look up at Soul and like look up at him while he's giving his speech. Was 27 the highest? What else did people get for perception?
I used my heroic inspiration and I got an 18.
Okay. So you see this too. Who else rolled?
I got a 7.
Oh, okay.
And I had a 21.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So you and Faylene both see that while he's giving the speech, this little guy here who is just standing by him, holding up a hand, is like looking at him. But like about the time the speech was over, it like lowers its hand and it's just like staring up at him. And then you see a strange thing. You see its eye like kind of shrink up a little bit as it's looking at him, and the pupil in the middle kind of gets a little bigger. And you're not quite sure what that means, but that's just what it looks like. And then when he shoots the bolt, it kind of goes like this, like it covers its face with its hand, as if it's protecting itself from danger. Whoops. And then, anyway, that's just something you saw while that was happening. Now, Zyra looks up. She looks up and you see this just like burn mark across her face. And you see this look of pure rage on her face. And then she says, "Fine. Kill them all." And then in the back of the cave, you hear this explosion as something crashes through the back wall of the cave. And you see this literally like break through the wall as if it was tunneling. This thing crashes through. And it looks like some kind of giant mole creature, but its skin looks a bit like it's made of stone. And then you see these scorpions lunge forward, but now we're returning to initiative. Soul, you just took your action. You can take your movement or any bonus actions you have now. It's your turn, technically.
I don't know if I have. You know what? Actually, you know what? Screw it. I want to do this. Yeah, I'm gonna use my from my 4th level feat. Or wait, no. This is just part of who I am now. Okay, that's cool. So I am going to, as I do this, and I casted this spell and hit her in the face, I will. You will see from the back of my armor, just this like kind of burst of flame, as like spectral celestial flaming wings appear. I'm just kind of flavoring it that way because I just got the ability to do my draconic flight now that we're 5th level.
Nice.
So yeah, I just have these wings that look like they're made out of fire and sunlight, and I'm kind of, even though they don't serve this purpose, they just give me a flight speed equal to my movement speed.
Yeah.
I am like sort of doing this almost in a defiance of her, and as showing that I'm protecting the people behind me.
Gotcha.
And I'm not going to move. I'm going to plant my feet, hold my shield in front of me, and prepare for whatever she decides to, throw at me.
Gotcha. Okay. Is that going to be the end of your turn?
Yes, that will be the end of my turn.
It is going to be Hector's turn next. Hector, what are you doing? You see the wall just fall in as this thing crashes, and you see behind it, it looks like a burrowed tunnel in the rock. This thing crashes in and roars.
Would Hector recognize what it is?
Roll a nature check.
Nature. Sure it's not Arcana.
Do you know what it is, Baleen?
I might know what it is.
I'm just waiting for somebody to identify.
I was actually going back into the archives because I'm like, is this Decoup Arcs?
Yes. This is Decoup Arcs.
It's the calloused mole man.
It is the calloused mole maw by Decoup Arc.
Yes, mole maw.
Yeah, that's cool.
But Hector does recognize this creature. Stands about, well, according to the physical description, it stands 5 feet tall, but this one's 8 feet tall, with hunched, powerful frames, covered with calloused gray-brown skin that appears almost stone-like in texture. Their large clawed hands are disproportionately massive to their bodies, with sharp talons capable of tearing through rock. Their most distinctive feature is their elongated, mole-like head, with nearly vestigial eyes and a powerful jaw filled with jagged, rock-crushing teeth that protrude at odd angles. A network of sensitive whiskers extends from their snouts, constantly twitching to detect the slightest vibrations in their environment. Anyway, so that's what you see.
It's not going to work.
So anyway, it is Hector's turn. What is Hector going to do?
He is going to... He wants to run away, basically. But essentially what he wants to do is get in behind that monster and down that tunnel.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to work out how to do that from where I am.
If you took the disengage action, you could run past it without provoking an attack of opportunity. That's an but the distance would be a little challenging, I think. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You wouldn't be able to make it all the way past.
No, that's what I was worried about. So, are there any rocks around Hector's feet there?
Oh yeah, there's some rocks laying on the ground.
Yep. So he'll grab a good hand-sized one and hit it at the pond itself. So
throw it at the pond.
Into the pond. Yeah.
Roll to hit. It's just a 10. You can use your dex or your strength, whichever is better.
It doesn't matter.
How much did that end up being?
5 or 3?
Uh-oh. You throw the rock, and unfortunately it lands and bounces and falls short of the pond.
But does the mole creature respond?
Oh, yeah. You see its head jerk toward the rock, and it growls and snarls.
Well, Hector will try and sneak around it whilst it's looking the other way.
Oh, okay. Roll a stealth check.
What have we got here? Still. That one.
You're going to have to beat its perception. Uh-oh.
Hector trips and uses the snowshoe.
As Hector gets right there, suddenly the thing looks over right at Hector and roars. Hector can feel its hot breath just like blowing his hair back. It's not the creature's turn yet, though. Is that Hector's whole turn? Or does he have more things?
Probably is, isn't it? Yeah. An action to throw the rocks around and then trying to sneak past him. So that's all he can really do.
All right.
Yep.
All right, very good. It is now Vyra's turn. She looks towards you, Kelf, standing in the cave. She conjures a shard of ice and shoots it at you with magic as she casts Ice Knife. She must make a ranged spell attack.
Whoa, she's casting. What up? Oh my god, I almost just said a word I don't think you want on your stream.
So
that's awful.
So she casts Ice Knife. It's going to be a 21 to hit.
That hits.
All right. So it will be on a hit. The target takes 1d10 piercing cold damage. Here's the d10. 1. Hit or miss. The shard then explodes. The target and each creature within 5 feet must succeed at a dex saving throw or take 2d6 cold damage. So you should make your dex saving throw.
What a piece of garbage.
It'll be a 15 to save.
That's a 4. That's nothing.
4. Okay. So 2d6. 4 points of cold damage. And then you see this little guy kind of get knocked backwards as he gets hit with some things. He slams into the rock. And then you see his eye just kind of like bounce around in his little holder. And then it kind of stops. And then he like shakes his head and looks up at you as if, I mean, he has no expressions. He's just looking at you.
I look down at him, and then I keep forgetting what is this evil woman's name?
Oh, Vyra.
Vyra, sorry. I look back at Vyra and I just say, "You are a horrid witch to attack your own sentinel."
She kind of chuckles. Oh, you've got no idea, buddy. And then she's like, "Get up," as she orders her scorpions forward. But that's the end of her turn. It's now Lada's turn. But Hector, you hear a couple thumps, and then you hear, "Hold on, Hector." He runs right up to the creature and lunges at him with he tries to do like a shoulder slam. Oh, nat 20.
Oh,
he slams into the mole maw. The mole maw like kind of staggers backwards. And then Lotto goes, "It's about time to be reunited with the ground." And then he's going to try to... the creature is able to resist, unfortunately, getting thrown down, but he does take damage from the unarmed attack. I want to just select my dice style. There we go. Okay. All right. Now, at this point, Hector, you see that the creature seems very distracted by Lotto. And then Lotto, while he's like wrestling with the creature, he kind of says, "Hector, get around us." He's like wrestling with it. All right, now it is this ice scorpion's turn. 5, 10, Now, these things can only fit one at a time through here, but it crawls in and attacks you, Kelf. So it attacks you with a claw. Does a 20 hit?
It does.
Okay, so it does 1d6 plus 3 bludgeoning when it hits. Oh. 9 points of bludgeoning, and then you have to make a DC strength save of 14 or be grappled by it.
I'm grappled because that was a 12.
Uh-oh. You are now grappled by the creature, and then it attempts a sting attack on you. Its big stinger comes up and comes down. Does a 17 hit you?
A 17 does not, but since I'm...
if you're grappled, I think it has advantage. Let me double check.
Oh wait, no, that's right. That was. I swear to God, that was like an old rule. No, it's just that you have disadvantage on if I'm grappled, I have disadvantage on attack rolls against any other creature other than the grappler.
Gotcha. Okay, so no, it would miss. Its stinger bounces off your armor. Thankfully. So that's its turn. The other one can't get in there because the one is in the way. And that now the turn is going to pass to Luna. Luna's going to hold her turn. It's Phaeline's turn.
Okay. Phaeline will look at Luna and be like, all rules have exceptions. We might have hit the exception phase. And then, as a bonus action, I'm going to use, my innate sorcery. And the way I'm going to flavor that is like it does leave kind of a visual effect where you can see sort of this blue effect, like blue fire kind of creep from her fingertips up her arms as she's really like tuning into her magic. And then Phaeline will run this way. And if she can, oh no, I can't select my thing anymore.
You select it? Here, let me double
It's
check.
like hidden. Oh no, not that. I meant my prop. I put it off to the side. That like fire sphere.
Oh.
That's in the blackness. I just wanted to see how big it was. Oh, thank you.
Here, I can unselect all that actually, because that's just cave right there.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, and as this like blue flames start to lightly lick up the skin of her arms, this burst of an inferno will jet out of her hands, and she'll cast Fireball.
Oh, Fireball. I assume she's going to try to miss Soul.
Yes. So I want to center it like right there so we can hit both.
Do what you got to do. I have resistance to fire.
Well, she can totally miss you with it if she's going to put it right there.
Yeah, I'm going to put it right there.
Yeah. So so you shoot it, the little bit of fire goes flying out, and then suddenly it's like
yeah,
it's a great fireball. All right, so they have to roll, if I'm not mistaken, dexterity saving throws.
Yep, and that'll be a 15.
You roll damage. So the first one does make saving throw. Wait a minute, does it? Saving? No, the first one misses saving throw. Second one also misses. They both miss their saving throw.
Okay, then both of them will take 33 points of fire damage.
Ooh, 33. All right, let me double check something here. All right, they're still up, but they took quite a bit of damage. They're both on fire. You hear them hissing. They're kind of sizzling as if they're kind of cooking while they're attacking. But they are still coming hard at Soul. All right, what else would you like to do, Phaeline?
I think I'll just take the rest of my movement to back up right there. So she like kind of releases it and then just sort of instinctually takes a few steps back. And that'll be my turn.
All right. So Luna, what is she going to do? She kind of looks around. And then you see her kind of look around for a moment as if in a panic. And then you see her kind of like her face kind of shape shifts just a little bit, just enough to where her teeth change. And you see that she has fangs. And then she bites into her own wrist. And you see her start to like bleed out some blood. And then it starts to kind of coagulate in the air. And then she launches some kind of like spike type spell at the first scorpion. She hits it. Some kind of like blood shard slams into the creature, dealing it's not so great, 1 point of damage. And then she kind of looks over at you, Faylene, and says, I need more blood. Now it is the Mole Maw's turn. Actually, she's going to take a step back too. She's going to back up. Now it's the Mole Maw's turn. The Mole Maw, very angry. We got to change the music here. Actually, go to this one. The Mole Maw looks down at its opponent, Lotto. It makes 2 attacks. It's going to try to get Lotto here. First attack is going to hit. Second attack is going to hit. You see it claws at him and then bites at him. Lotto gets hit with 19 points of damage. He's like, oh. You see blood pouring down his shoulders. The creature sinks its jowls into him and then rips him across the belly with a claw. You see blood just like roll down his waist and like just patter onto the floor. But he's still holding onto the creature. He's like, ugh, you won't stop me. I've wrestled bigger and badder than you. As he's like trying to push against the creature. That is the Mole Maw's turn. It is now 13's turn. 13 kind of runs in like back and forth a bit, and then it kind of runs up here, and then it runs back over here, and then goes back to where it was, and just seems to hide, kind of looking around, trying to see what's going on. It is now Valenthi's turn.
All right. And there was a fireball cast on those 2.
Yes, they're currently burning.
Okay. Still standing, though.
They are still standing, yes.
Did what did Kerrigan do?
Oh, wait a minute. Kerrigan hasn't taken a turn. I didn't add her to the initiative. Hold on 1 second. Let me roll for her. We're going to add her. Actually, we'll add her right after you, Valenthi, because she didn't get a turn. We're going to give her a 21.
Okay.
So for her turn, we're just going to say that she kind of backed up to here. And we're going to say that she readied her staff. And anyway, so continue. Go ahead.
So Luna and Faylene. Okay, so Luna. Did I see who Luna was concentrating on? Where her focus was?
Luna shot the first scorpion, the one coming through the door, the one that has grappled Soul.
Okay. Delancey will, I guess, aim at the first scorpion.
All right.
And she will go ahead and attack there. All right. Let's see. Will a 16 hit?
A 16 will hit, yes.
All right. she has those. She'll do 8 points of damage.
8 points to that first scorpion.
Yeah.
All right.
I think
8
that's what
points.
she. Let me see. So yeah, because she doesn't have her.
It gets hit in the between the carapace again, right above Soul's head. Soul, you see the arrow whistle by and slam into the creature. The creature's looking pretty rough now at this point.
Okay, let me see if I want to do a bonus here. Okay, so anyway, she'll go ahead and do another one
Against that same scorpion.
Yeah, and that will be a 22 to hit. So
22 to hit. That will hit for sure.
Oh, she's not doing good. 8 points of damage.
8 points. The creature is still up, but it's bleeding everywhere, bleeding all over Kelf.
And will do another 15.
Another 15 damage.
No, to hit.
15 to hit will hit.
All right. And that would be another 11 damage.
So, Kelf, you feel the claw that's grappling you on that first one. You feel it loosen as the creature falls to the ground, motionless, as Valenti's arrows render it dead, and it is now bleeding out.
Beautiful.
And then, while this is happening, I don't remember. Does anybody have rope?
Kerrigan's like, I have rope.
Okay, Kerrigan has rope. Okay. She's going to move, I guess, to here and about right here, so she can have eyes on the other scorpion and this mole creature, and then we'll try to grab it. But I don't know if she can do that in that round. She's moving her movement there, and then she'll just try to grab it if possible.
Oh, grab the rope?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kerrigan, you would see that it's like coiled up on her backpack, basically, and you could quickly grab it.
Okay. And that will be for her movement.
All right. Now it is Kerrigan's turn. Kerrigan, she is going to... She's going to go over here. You're going to see that she pulls her bolo off of her belt, and she starts to swing it. Can she do it from here? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. She has to move a little closer. You hear this as she swings her bolo, and then she throws it. You see the rocks tied to the cord fly over the first scorpion, and she's trying to bolo the second scorpion. Let me roll on this. Oh, she gets it. Okay, it has to make a DC 13 Dex saving throw or be restrained. Oh, it makes it. She tries to bolo it, but unfortunately, it is able to move its legs enough to keep the bolo from wrapping around the legs. Kerrigan is like, damn it. And then she's going to use the rest of her movement to pull back and ready her staff. All right, it is now Soul's turn.
So, am I still grappled?
No, you are not grappled.
Okay. As I'm no longer grappled, I am going to look down at 13, and I'm going to say, "You're wise to take cover, young one." Or not young one, little one. And then I'm going to kind of like pulse my wings a bit and take flight. As much as I can get over these scorpions, I want to get to here on the other side of them.
So you can do that, but
I'm going to incur an opportunity attack.
Yeah, a second scorpion will get a chance to tail whip you.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Yes, totally.
All right, so here we go. We go for the tail whip. It would be a 15. Does that?
Okay, that misses.
Okay, so you see the tail like you like dodge it.
Okay, so as I fly over them, I land behind the other scorpion. My wings are kind of like furled around me. I actually looked it up. They are the same energy as my breath weapons. So they're made of fire.
Oh, nice.
And so as I stand up, I have my sword and shield in hand, and I like spread my arms out, and I look at her and I say, "You think the cold gives you power? That darkness hides in your wickedness? No more. I am the light that burns in the black. I'm the fire of the heart of dawn. By Lathander's will and the fury of the rising sun, burn, witch!" And I will use my channel divinity for my solar flare. So the two scorpions and Vira need to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay. So here's there's only one. This scorpion is dead, actually. So
he's just dead. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So this one is okay. Its dex saving throw is an 18 flat.
Okay.
And then hers, let me double check here what she has. So she gets to add a 7 to her dex. So she makes 15.
Okay, so that is going to succeed. So they're each going to take 8 fire damage.
Okay, 8 fire damage.
Dang. I was really hoping they would have failed that and caught on fire.
I know, it would have been really nice. I think she just barely made it.
She did, yeah.
Okay. But it still hurts her. You see the flame hit her and she's like, ah! She looks like it hurts her. Her face is half her face is like literally burned to a crisp from your that thing you shot at her. She's literally, if she survives, a whole half her face is going to be just melted. And she's looking at you and she just has this look of rage in her eye. Anyway, you can continue your turn.
That's going to be my turn because not much. Actually, no. Actually, I am going to use my bonus action for lay on hands. So I am going to heal myself for 14 hit points to get myself back up to max.
All right.
And it just kind of looks as if the flames I just exploded out are pulled back into me, healing my wounds.
Gotcha. Okay. So now it would be Hector's turn. But quick before Hector goes, she's going to do a free action. She's just going to like look at you and kind of get in a stance. And she's like, my master thinks you're special. I think you're especially dead. She like snaps at you. Anyway. All right. It is now Hector's turn.
Hector, seeing that the mole creature's enraged and engaged with Lotto, will attempt to step up behind it a bit.
Roll us. Are you trying to sneak past it?
No, not this time. I'm just
okay.
Going up to that position behind it.
Okay.
And we'll use a second level guiding bolt on the mole man.
Oh, gotcha. Rolled a hit.
Oh, you.
Oh, was it a 10? Was it a 10? Is that with bonuses?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It was a 19 and then rolled onto 3.
Oh, you shoot, but the guiding bolt just hits its natural armor and breaks.
Yeah, that's it. I haven't got anything.
Do you have
else.
any other actions or bonus actions?
No.
Now, at the end of your turn, Vira is going to take a legendary action. So Vira can take one legendary action, choosing from the options below. Only one can be used at a time, and only at the end of another creature's turn. So one of them is Command Brood. she's gonna call out, and she's gonna say, "Come to me, my broodlings." And then another scorpion comes burrowing up, and then it kind of turns toward you, Soul. And then she kind of shouts to it in Sylvan, "Kill this lizard man." But anyway, it doesn't have a turn right now. That's just her legendary action. Now it's her turn, and she looks over at you, and then she's like, "I will admit, this could have been made very easy if you'd have just stepped aside. But I guess easy isn't in your vocabulary, isn't? Or any of your kind, for that matter. They always have to do things the hard way. These haughty, dragonborn schmucks. They think they're better than everyone. Well, guess what? Today, you're going to find you're not better than me, lizard folk."
Whoa.
So she seems very angry. And then she uses her ghostly scream of icy wind ability in a 30-foot cone, which is going to be, I mean, you're the only one in the cone. Each creature in the area, so you hear her, she opens her mouth and you just hear this piercing screech, and then you feel this just blast of icy wind hit you as if nature itself is turning upon you. Each creature in the area must make a DC 16 Constitution saving throw.
That's a 7.
Oh, so he failed it.
Yeah.
So he's going to take, this is a big one, 8d8 cold damage on a failed save. It is a total of 28 points of damage. Cold damage.
All right. Well, good thing I healed.
And on a failed save, you're slowed until the end of your next turn.
Okay. So my wings are now smaller.
Yeah. So you have, I believe slowed means you go half speed. I
Yeah.
think. So you can go half as far or whatever. But so she hits you with that. And then she kind of looks at you and she's like, "Still kicking? You're tougher than they give you credit for. I'll admit. That's okay. It won't make any difference. You'll still be dead." She just like laughs. She's like, "In case you didn't know, nature here is my servant. You cannot beat the land itself." Anyway, that's the end of her turn. She doesn't have anything else to do. It is now Lotto's turn. On the inside, Lotto, he tries to slam the creature again. Oh, he does hit it. He tries to throw it this time. Does he throw it? No, he is not able to throw it. Hits it for 8 points of damage. All right. It is now this scorpion's turn. This scorpion turns to Soul. It launches an attack. Uh-oh. A 25 to hit.
Yeah.
You should roll a DC 14 strength saving throw to avoid being grappled. Guys, you see Soul.
That's a 21.
21. Okay, so you are not grappled. It just hits you for 1d6 plus 3. So it's 4 points of bludgeoning. And then it tries to sting you. It comes in with its stinger. It will be a 12 to hit. Does that hit?
No, that misses.
Okay, so it misses with its stinger. That's its turn. Scorpion does not hit. The scorpion is out of here. And it has a 1. This doesn't come with 10. It is now Luna's turn. Luna's going to hold her turn for the moment. It's Faeline's turn.
If I move up to about here, would I have line of sight of all 3 of the combatants outside?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to do that. Faeline is going to rush forward and scream, "Only I get to call him Lizard Man," and cast Scorching Ray. I'm gonna put one ray on each of them.
On each of the enemies?
Yeah, on each of the enemies.
All right.
Okay, so the first one, I have advantage on each of those because of the innate sorcery still. So the first one is a 16, and
So suddenly from behind you, you see rays firing out and shooting at these enemies. So now, which one was the 16 aimed at?
I'll aim the first one at the scorpion right in front of me.
Okay, that will hit. A 16 will hit.
Okay, and that'll take 6 points of fire damage.
6 points. All right.
And then my
Screeches.
next one is a nat 20, so I'm going to hit Vyra with it.
So it's a crit, so double damage.
And that'll be 13 fire damage on that one.
You hit her this time in like the chest and neck, and she kind of like lurches backwards. She's getting burnt up everywhere from you guys. She's like an ice person getting hit with fire. She's still up, but
and then the last one
quite look bloodied yet.
Is a 23 to hit.
That'll hit, yes.
And 5 fire damage on that last scorpion.
That scorpion gets hit in the face with fire. It's like hisses a little bit.
And that will be my turn.
All right. It is now the Calloused Mole Maw's turn. So it gets 2 attacks. It's going to launch one at Lotto. It's going to try to bite Lotto. Does it hit? 8. Ooh, 9, 10. 11. It does hit Lotto. 7. Okay. And then it's going to take a swing at Lotto's like, you see its teeth sink in. Lotto is actually looking kind of rough. His legs are starting to shake a little bit. Now the thing takes a swing at Hector with its claw.
At disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage. Okay.
Hector, as a reaction, seeing this claw coming at him, the shadows come and shield him and grant disadvantage.
In that case, does a 10 hit?
No.
Okay, so the attack misses due to the shadows.
Oh, no, it does. Does hit.
Oh, a 10 hits? That was its disadvantage hit. Uh-oh.
Yep, it still hits.
Uh-oh. 2d6 plus 3 slashing damage. Ooh, 14 points of slashing damage.
14.
And that is the Mole Maw's turn. It is now 13's turn. 13 runs up here. It like looks around, runs back here. And then it like peeks outside. It stands right in front of you, Phelan. It kind of is peeking outside and hiding behind the rocks. And that's its turn. It is then going to be this scorpion's turn. This scorpion comes forward towards you, Soul, and tries to attack you. Does a 14 hit?
No.
Okay, so it misses its claw attack. Uh-oh. Its stinger, it tries to sting you, but with a critical fail, it accidentally stings over you and stings its ally over there. You're able to dodge it. The stinger hits, doing 1d8 plus 3 to the other one. Where's my d8? Whoops, I rolled 2d8. That'll be fine. Uh-oh. That scorpion gets stung in the head, emits a shriek, and then falls down dead.
Hell yeah.
So
it tries to stab my wings and it goes through the flames.
Yes. So you know, like there's a kind of a puff of flames and then the other one died. You hear Vyra shout, "No! You morons!" And now it is so Luna held her turn. She's going to actually run up here, dive down below Lotto, and collect a bunch of his blood. he kind of looks at her. What are you doing? Get out of here! And she's like, just hold on a minute. As she's like literally collecting blood from him, and he's like, get. He tries to like push her out of the way with his foot. But anyway, that's what she's doing with her turn. It is now Valenthi's turn.
All right, Valenthi will look over at Kerrigan and says,
She's gonna keep calling these insects.
Yes,
we have to focus fire on her.
and
stop her.
Let the others handle this mole creature.
then she will fight. She'll move. There's still not a fire there, right?
No, that's the
No.
leftover fireball.
Okay.
In fact, we can.
Yeah.
Okay. So she will do a another hunter's mark on Vira.
Wire gets the hunter's mark set upon her.
And she will proceed to attack Vira. As she says,
I've faced monsters my whole life. You're just another one that bleeds.
and see how it goes.
Right.
Can I get a crit? Nope. 25?
Oh, 25 will hit for sure.
All right. So that will be 12 damage. You know what?
She gets hit.
No, I've been doing that right. Okay, cool.
The arrow sticks into her. I mean, she's getting burnt. She's got arrows sticking out of her now.
And she says,
You ruled with power. I'll show you what strength really is.
and fires another one.
Soul, as you're battling the scorpion, you hear arrows whistling past you and sinking into Vira.
Good.
Oh, that's going to be a 10.
That'll miss.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and use another inspiration to
Oh, okay.
re-roll that one.
Go for it. Go for it.
Might as well use them now.
That's true. That's true. In fact, actually,
Oh my god. 14?
14 will miss, actually, unfortunately. Actually, and with you mentioning inspiration, Soul, I wanted to give you an inspiration because when you flew out there to confront Vira one-on-one, that was a pretty epic moment. So I'm going to give you inspiration so you have an inspiration check. I forgot about that earlier. But anyway, all right, continue, Villain.
All right. That's crazy. Now I'm rolling low. Oh my god.
Oh,
Jesus.
no.
I'm going to do an inspiration on that one for sure.
Okay, so you don't have the fumble.
The last inspiration on that one. Holy cow. What's going on here? Jesus, what the hell? Okay, well, I guess only one hits. That's weird.
Another arrow flies past, and then she kind of looks over at you, and she's like, for an elf, she's like, you shoot a lot like an orc. She just like shouts at you.
Jeez.
She's like, but I'll bet you'll go good on a spit, like the orcs do too. She's like, no matter. You're all dead. She's kind of laughing. But you notice something. Everyone around her roll a perception check. Actually, no, an insight check as she's starting to laugh.
That's a nat 20.
Oh,
Nice.
24.
I got a 15.
a 15.
Yeah, my dice are dead tonight. 9.
Uh-oh. So the 15 and the nat 20 for sure. Faylene, you get the sense that she's laughing. You're kind of like, she's laughing, but she sounds like her mood has changed. Like, that almost sounded like a forced laugh. And Soul, when you hear her laugh, you rolled nat 20. All you hear is fear. And like, you realize she knows she's not going to win. Like, that's what Soul realizes when he hears the laugh. It's like she's laughing, but she doesn't even believe it, kind of thing. All right. Valenthi, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Kerrigan is going to come forward. 5, 10, 20, 25. Okay, 30. She's going to run over. She's going to scoop up the bolo that she had missed before. And then she's going to say, go, Claw. And then her hawk is going to fly out and attack Vira. It's going to try to hit her in the eyes. You hear like a hawk shriek, and then the hawk comes in and actually gets her. You see the hawk get her in the face, and she like jerks her head back, dealing 1 point of damage. Not a whole lot. But then Kerrigan is going to try her bolo. She's going to throw it. Little. She actually hits. Now, Vira has to make a strength check to see if she saves against the bolo snaring her. Oh, she fails it. The bolo wraps around her legs, and she is now she's restrained. So that's going to be the end of Kerrigan's turn. It is now Soul's turn.
All right.
So you see that this bolo has wrapped itself around. Actually, is it restrained? Yes, it's wrapped around her arms and her legs.
Good.
The bolo has.
I'm gonna look at her. As she casted whatever that cold wind ability was on me. Soul sort of is pushed to the ground a bit. His wings have kind of subsided a bit, but he lifts his head. He looks at her and says, "You claim nature is your servant, but you do not command the sun, but I walk in its light." And as I say that, there is going to be a beaming radiance around me as I use my bonus action to use my second and last channel divinity to use Morning Sun, which allows me to absorb the healing restorative powers of the sun. So that's going to heal me back up for 25. And as I'm doing this, I am going to have my wings lift me 15 feet in the air, which should not leave the area of effect of the scorpion.
Yeah, because it's a large size creature.
Right. And then I'm going to look at her and as I'm doing this, I say, "By Lathander's light, I rise renewed. The sun does not kneel before winter. It burns it away." And I cast Guiding Bolt again in her face.
Roll to hit. She is restrained too. Let me see if this gives you.
So that is rolling with advantage. That's a 22 to hit.
That will hit. Roll damage.
Okay. So that's 13 radiant damage, and she's glowing like a light bulb with advantage. She is already restrained, so no double advantage. But yeah.
How much damage was that?
13.
13. Okay. She's like, ugh! She gets hit, and you see the flame. Like her face is starting to like literally char apart, and they're like pieces of it falling off. Her hair is kind of on fire. She kind of like you kind of see her legs shake and almost give out underneath her. She just like looks up at you with this crazed look. One eye you actually see is really cloudy because your first bolt hit her in the eye. And then that's the same eye the hawk just gouged, so there's like blood running out of it. But her other good eye is just looking at you with this like maniacal look of just rage. But anyway, is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn.
It is now Hector's turn. Meanwhile, inside the cave, this creature is roaring. Hector and Lotto are fighting it. It's your turn, Hector.
Hector drops a hand into his component pouch and pulls out the tiny little bell. And he dings on it. And the mole man hears like the bells of Notre Dame ringing in his head. It's a wisdom saving throw, 15.
Wisdom saving throw, 15. Is this Toll of the Dead?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, let's see. Wisdom saving throw. It is not proficient. It's just a flat roll. Oh, it makes an 18. Oh, it's saving against everything. What does it get on a failed save? Anything?
Yeah.
Or on a made save, I mean?
I'm saving. Must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take damage. If the target is missing any of its hit point, it takes more damage. No, nothing happens.
Uh-oh. The creature is able to resist somehow. It is able to resist the toll of the dead. What other things would you like to do, Hector?
Not sure if I can see Soul, but he will telepathically send a message to Soul. Next time, tell me when you're going to pick a fight.
Yeah, you definitely could reach Soul with that. Soul, you hear this from Hector.
And
All
that's
right.
it.
Vyra's turn is
Soul
next.
Dead would do something.
Vyra is... Well, actually... So, actually, at the end of Hector's turn, she's going to use a legendary action. As she's looking at you, Soul, and you two are, like looking at each other, she is actually going to disappear. Like it's like as if she vanishes. And has Soul ever seen things like a misty step or anything like that?
Sure.
Oh yeah, it looks like that. And the bolo just falls to the ground, and then suddenly she appears behind him.
What trash!
And then it's her turn.
White trash.
And she's going to say, "Close, not close enough." And then she's going to... She's actually going to take a step back, which provokes an attack of opportunity.
Oh,
you can make an attack.
Cool.
She wanted to appear behind you so she could whisper in your ear. She was willing to take the attack to...
That's a 19.
A 19 will hit. Roll damage.
All right. That's not a lot of damage. It's only 5 slashing.
5 points? Okay. You slash her for 5 points of damage. And then as she backs away, she just looks at you, and you see this look of just, as she appears behind you and you slash at her, the two of you meet gazes, and you have, I don't know if Soul has ever had a time in his life when he saw true hate, just like rage. But he sees it in her eye, and he realizes, for better or for worse, whether or not she's dangerous, whether or not she is or isn't, he can tell that she has it out for him. She's just angry.
There's only been one time where he's ever seen true hate, and that was when one of the other Dragonborn that was being kept slave when he was a child, when their child was taken from her, and that Dragonborn lost it and basically attacked the captors.
So she positions this thing to where, she doesn't even try. She can't really hit the others, but she doesn't even try. It's only for Soul. And Soul suddenly sees a cylinder of cloud and ice and frost appear above him, almost like a tornado. And then freezing rain and sleet just dump down on him in sleet storm, the spell. Mm-hmm. So you must make a dexterity saving throw.
I'm going to roll my inspiration against that.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? That's a nat 1.
A nat 1.
Wait, isn't the new heroic inspiration that you get advantage?
Yes.
Okay, so it would be a 13.
A 13? Okay.
Yeah.
So your creature makes a 13, but that's not quite high enough. It has to be it would need to be a 15.
Oh, man.
So what happens in the sleet storm, and this area becomes incredibly slick, and your character falls prone. Well, actually, no, you're flying, aren't you?
I am flying.
Never mind, you can't fall prone. So the sleet just falls down on you, and you just feel this wave of cold and this ice. But
no, actually, I don't have a hover speed. I only have a flying speed. So if there is something that would like reduce my movement speed, I would fall.
oh, I don't know if this reduces your. Let me. If it's on the time.
I just didn't know what the specifics there was because it's specifically that I have a flying speed, not a hover speed.
It says the ground in the area is covered with slick ice, making it difficult terrain. When a creature enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, it must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, it falls prone. So no, it doesn't stop your movement.
Okay, cool.
So
yeah, I am still flying.
But your vision is basically actually your vision is pretty much completely obscured. Actually, going to center it. Your vision is pretty much completely obscured. And then you hear this voice shouting at you. Like you hear her voice, and it's almost like in the frost, and it's like in the wind. And she says to you, "This isn't over, Dragonborn." And then you hear what sounds like a magical zap. But you're just stuck in this sleet. It's just like pounding down on you. And you can't see anything. Even that scorpion who is in front of you, I mean, you can barely see him. But anyway, that's her turn. It is now Lotto's turn. Lotto swings at this creature. Tries to hit him again. He hits him. Can he throw him? Oh, he does throw him. Lotto slams this creature, and then he's able to kind of lift him off the ground and slam him down onto the ground. Dealing 22 points of damage. Ooh. The Molmaw shrieks. That's the end of Lotto's turn. But the Molmaw is prone now. It is now the Scorpion's turn. But you kind of see the Scorpion withdraw. You can make an attack of opportunity if you want.
Would I get a second attack of opportunity?
Oh, no, that's right. You've already had one this round.
Cool.
You see the Scorpion just like you see it skittle away, scuttle away. It is now Luna's turn. Luna rolls to the side. Hector, you would be the only one close enough to see this. You see that she collected a bunch of blood. You would see that she mumbled a few words. She drank it down. So now it's like running down her mouth. And then her eyes kind of go black. And you see something kind of come out of her mouth and shoot at the Molmaw. Oh, wow. She fumbled. However, when she tries to do this, you hear her scream and roll backwards in pain, and she seems to be covering her face with her hands, and you see fresh blood flying in all directions. You're not quite sure what's going on, but the Molmaw didn't seem to suffer any ill fate. It is now Faeline's turn.
Oh, man.
So, Faeline, all your vision is obscured by this wall of sleet storm. All you see
That's
is
what I thought.
pure sleet.
I know this isn't like the most advantageous thing to probably do at this second, but I feel like this is what she would do. I think seeing like Soul enveloped in this like ice storm, I think she would scream his name, which is probably the first time she's ever said his name to him.
Okay.
And run in to try to grab him.
So you run in there, and I mean, the minute you run in there, it's this whoosh, wind is hitting you. Make a dex saving throw to avoid falling down.
Okay.
You have to make a 15.
Ooh, it's a It's a 20, a dirty 20.
Oh yeah, you make it. So you go in there, you feel how slick it is, but you're able to withstand it, and you reach Soul, who's
Can
in
I
there.
grab him
Yep.
and cast
So you see Faylene grab you.
Thunderstep to get us out of it?
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to grab him and I am going to teleport us over here if possible.
Yes, you can do that for sure. You guys see this pillar of ice and sleet, but you see that this scorpion that was over here, you see that it's not there. There's just a big hole right here in the ground, and you see no sign of Vira.
No.
All you see is that this area right here, there's a huge like geometric pattern that looks like snowflakes and what looks like a teleport circle, like some kind of fey like teleport circle. And she is no longer there.
Okay. And that's my turn. Just pulling him out of the Sleet Star.
Meanwhile, inside the cave, the Mole Maw, in a frantic fury, lunges out at Lotto, misses, throws another swing at Lotto, its second attack.
Wasn't it restrained by Lotto?
It was prone. It was prone. But it does hit Lotto for 8 points of damage. Lotto gets slashed again, blood just running everywhere. But he beats his chest and he's like, "Is that all you have, you foul monster? I've wrestled better halflings than you in the ring." Anyway, that's the Mole Maw's turn. It tries to stand up, provoking attacks of opportunity from both Hector and Lotto. Would you like to make your attack of opportunity, Hector?
I don't know if I've got
you see him. You see him slap it with a palm strike. Ooh. There's a bunch of. It's starting to just trying to get up. Anyway, Hector, what did you roll for your?
I haven't got anything, so.
Oh, you're not going to try to hit it? Okay. It stands back up, and that is now. It is now 13's turn. 13 runs out here. It kind of looks over at you, Faylene. It kind of looks at Soul, and then it runs back inside. And it kind of runs up here, kind of hides and looks at the Mole Maw situation, and that's what it does. It is now Valenti's turn.
She wouldn't know that they're gone, huh?
Well, she would see the sleet storm. She would see Faylene and Soul. She would see that they kind of teleported over here, but she can't see past them. And unless they shout out to you or something, I guess they wouldn't. Hey, Faylene or Soul, would either of you have yelled back at Valenti to let Valenti know what's going on?
Soul would actually be very fixated on the fact that she's gone, so okay. I don't know if he would necessarily be relaying that immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. So no, Valenti, you wouldn't know what's going on out there because there's this big sleet wall that's like blocking your vision. Wall of sleet.
Can I make a medicine check to see how bad the battle's going between Mole Man and Lotto over there?
Yes, you can do that for free. Just make a quick medicine check, just to do a glance.
3. Let's see here. Oh my goodness, these dice.
So to you, Lotto is looking pretty rough, but he's still up. He's still fighting. you think to yourself, man, I hope he doesn't get hit again. That might be bad, but he seems okay right now.
So, all right. And I can see nobody around Soul right now. She will move here, right in 15, and then shoot the mole man.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh. Now,
Jesus.
on a nat 1, there's a possibility you hit Lotto. Are you going to use anything to try to negate the nat 1?
I don't have any
Uh-oh.
more inspirations.
I'm going to roll percentiles. If it's under 50, it hits Lotto. Uh-oh. It does hit Lotto. Roll damage.
Oh god.
You see the arrow sink into Lotto's back. It's a
No.
very bad situation.
Let's see. Well, I rolled on that one. That one is a 1 plus 3. So it's a 4.
Oh, 4 points? Okay. He gets hit in the back. He's like, ugh! You see him kind of glance backwards, like he's confused. He's like he's just like looks behind him, like he doesn't quite understand what's going on. And then Hector, he says to you, "There's archers coming behind us. They're getting reinforcements." He's like, "Watch our backs, Luna, behind us." You guys are shouting. But anyway, would you like to do
Jeez.
anything else, Valenti?
I'm gonna try to do another one, but God, I don't know, man. I think the algorithm is breaking on this thing. Jesus. It's a 19 to hit.
That will hit the mole man.
All right. Oh, let me see here. I guess I would have used the bonus action to move the what do you call it? Hunter's mark to the mole man.
For sure, yeah, you can have it on him. The mole maw, I should say.
Mole maw. I guess that's a 9.
A 9. So
Okay,
when you
damage,
is that the damage? 9 points of damage.
yeah, and then
So, go ahead.
oh, is it still up?
No. That when you hit it, the arrow sinks into its forehead, and you hear just one groan, like a, and then it would fall backwards and slam into the cave wall, and you see it slump down. One hand kind of falls into that pool of water, and then it kind of rolls over halfway into that pool of water and then lays motionless. You see Lotto whirl around as if he's ready to fight. He's like, "Where are those archers coming from?"
Valenti will walk up to him. Says,
My apologies. I couldn't tell the difference there for a moment.
and she will heal.
Oh.
Do a healing for let's see, 27 points of damage as she pulls the arrow out.
She heals him for 27.
Yeah,
Oh, nice. Okay.
and pulls the arrow out.
Oh, nice. Okay. So he just looks at you, and then suddenly he just breaks into laughter. He's like, and he just like grabs Valenti and hugs her and literally like lifts her up off the ground. He's like, "I don't like getting shot in the back, but that second shot was a hell of a shot."
Valenti just tenses.
Thank you.
Glad you finally decided to show up. Thought me and Hector were going to have the whole fight, didn't we, Hector?
Yes.
Didn't let you have all the fun.
No fun.
And
Stupid. We shouldn't have been fighting.
Lotto's going to kind of look over and say, like, "What do you mean?"
Well, we could have talked our way out. We didn't have to fight her. Set all this off.
Lotto kind of looks at Valenti. He's like, "I'll admit I'm not very good at those types of things. I don't really know about talking. Usually I'm
I don't
sent
think
into the ring to smash."
I don't think Vira was looking for talking.
she's gonna go and start grabbing the salvage any arrows that she can.
Oh, okay. So however many arrows she fired, you should roll. You should roll percentiles, and if you roll over 50%, you recover 75%. Okay, so you recover 75% of the arrows you fired.
So
The others were broken, unfortunately.
Are
well, I
they,
really need to
are
learn
they
mending.
still around? Are
The
they
broken
still
arrows?
around, though?
Yeah, they're still around. Yeah. And they're an easier. So if you collect broken arrows, they take half as long to craft as arrows from scratch do.
Oh, Hector would sit there and use mending on them.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, if Hector's going to mend them, that's a cantrip, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then you can recover all of your arrows if Hector's going to do that.
Yeah, thank God.
Whilst these sitting there and mending these arrows with Valenti, he'll slip a ring into her hand
Oh.
She says, "What is
and
this?"
say, I can use this, but I think you can use it more than me. And it's, hang on, I'll just get the thing. It's called the Ring of Snow Strider Pact. I'll just pop it in the chat for you.
Yeah, if you pop in the chat, then you can grab that.
Cool.
It's one of the items that fell from the sky. Now, you guys notice that Luna has crawled into the corner over here, and you hear her kind of whimpering and holding her face, and she's like looking into the corner. She's like not showing herself.
Valenti will walk over after getting the ring, walk over to her and says,
"Are you okay? Are you hurt?"
You see Luna holding her head, and you see her holding her face in her hands, and at first you think she's just like upset or whatever. But then you realize that she's actually trembling in severe pain. Like she's in so much pain she can't respond. But you're not sure why. You see blood pouring out of her hands and onto the floor.
Valenti will cure wounds on her.
Oh, okay.
For 11.
So when you cure her of live wounds, she's like, she sighs in relief, and then she turns around and Valenti sees that her mouth, like the sides of her mouth, were completely like torn open, and blood was just like coming out of her mouth. Valenti's not quite sure how that happened, but when it cured wounds, it seemed to cure it a little bit. And then she's just like holding her mouth, and she's like, "Thank you." And then she grabs a hold of Valenti's legs, like to give her a hug.
Valenti will stiffen again and says,
"You're welcome. Oh, I don't know what happened.
My spell didn't work. It didn't work right. I did something wrong. I fail all the time. That's what I do." And you see her kind of cry a little bit as she holds on to your legs.
Valenti is like, "Well then, that's a good thing. That means that you're learning to become even better. We can't all be perfect in the first turn."
Now, with that being said, let's go out to Faylene and Sol. What are you guys doing outside?
Yeah, so as she pulls me out, Sol will look at her and say, "Faylene, thank you. Your courage burns brighter than that storm ever could."
Faylene probably looks like more distraught than you might expect. Like she looks like she might like actually be like kind of on the verge of tears, but then she sort of just like sniffs and she's like, "Well, it's like I said, nobody else can call you Lizard Man, Sol," and walk back towards the cave.
Sol will smile at that and then kind of turn his gaze back to back to the snow and the expansive tundra. And he is going to draw his sword and plant it in the snow in front of him. And he's going to say, Lathander, Morning Lord, bringer of light, grant me not rest, but purpose. She flees beneath a shroud of storm and shadow, but your light sees all, and I must be that light. Send to me a steed of your dawn fire, swift and true, a soul of speed and power to carry your will across the frozen land. Let them bear the fire I cannot chase alone, and let them hunt her shadow, so your justice may rise. And as I pull my sword out of the snow, I'm going to cast Find Steed. And so light, like sunlight, just radiates out from there. And as I'm pulling it out, I say, Eos, rise. And I will put this in the Barren Lands chat so you guys
nice.
have an image.
Heck yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's the wrong one. Sorry. The wrong one. That was the first
Don't
one.
look at that one.
Don't look at that
one's
one.
So pretty.
Yeah, I know. I clicked the wrong one. Hold on. There we go. This one's so much better. So yeah, it's basically for those at home watching. This
Here, I'll project it on.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Oh, it's such a pretty pose.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys, anyone who even like looks outside just sees this horse rising up out of this light where it is just made of fire and radiance. And when it forms, Soul will put his hand on his back. You know, this celestial steed who's glowing like molten bronze, a mane trailing like sunlight, and he'll look at Eos and say, "The chase begins. Hunt her down. Scan the area." And then he'll kind of just like usher Eos out because Soul needs to check on his allies, but he knows that like obviously she could have magic that he is completely ignorant to, but he would like for Eos to go out and kind of survey the area and then return to him because he and I have telepathy within 1 mile.
Gotcha. Okay. So basically do like a reconnaissance scouting.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I will head inside and to which I assume Kerrigan and Faylene would have been privy to that site. I will look
as you walk in, Kerrigan just like looks at you and then she like lifts off her mask and then just like drops it behind her, kind of like she does when she looks at you. And then she would actually just fall down onto her knees and she would say, "You are from the gods. They've sent you to save us."
I am not from any gods. I walk in the light of my god, Lathander.
She's like, "There's a word for this. In my culture, we call it fate. Sometimes we do not know our fate." And then she's going to stand up and she's going to reach out with both her hands and kind of take one of your hands as if to kind of shake it. Kind of.
Oh, yeah.
And she's going to say, "You may not know what your fate is, Dragonborn, but I do." And then she's going to like, oh, wait a minute. You guys don't speak the same language. It's awkward. She had tongues cast a little while. Oh, no, that was the other guy.
That was 13. I would imagine...
It's very awkward.
I would imagine her just talking to me and like, I feel like, do you want me to roll insight? Because I have proficiency with insight, so maybe I'm just getting the tone.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to say she spoke that to you in Orc.
Okay.
Not even knowing that you were going to understand, but somehow you understood it.
Okay. All right.
You have a feeling
I was
that
going to say,
you could
use 13 as a translator.
That is true, but that's okay. I think this actually fits. I think that so you get the distinct feeling that Lathander made you understand what she just said.
Nice.
I think is how it
Nice.
plays off. And then she just kind of says it, and then she goes to walk away as if she does not expect you to understand what she just said.
I will just smile and say, I'm glad that you have faith in whatever is going on. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Oh, I thought somebody else was saying anything.
With that being said, let's do one more quick little round of what every player is going to do as we wrap up the session here. And then there's a quick little cutscene to end the session on. But let's start with, let's just go on down the row. Hector, what is Hector doing to finish up the session?
So Hector would come across to the mole man and sit down on the ground next to him and place one hand on the corpse of the mole man and very quietly pray for the safe passage through to the realm of death. And at the same time, he's casting flowering on the corpse.
Ah, so the corpse begins to take flower and bloom.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a beautiful sight here in the cave. In that hot, warm spring, half its body is laying in there, but spring is very beautiful.
Yeah, and then he'll, once that's completed, he'll just move to somewhere comfy. I'm guessing there's someone will set up a fire. He'll go and sit near the fire and pull out all his little trinkets, including the new orb, the amulet. He basically throws the amulet straight over his shoulders around his neck.
Okay.
And just before he goes to sleep, he will cast the alarm spell as per the amulet.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Let's go to Valenthi. What does Valenthi do as the session is winding down?
Oh, Valenthi is just trying to think of the next step. She will for sure try to see how far Vira went with the hunter's mark.
So she detected that she was like right here up until the last moment, and then there was a poof, and then she was further than a mile. Well, how long is it's a mile away, up to a mile?
Let me see, I think.
Or how far is it?
That only gives me duration. Let me see. I don't know.
Let me see. Is it one of those things where it's like direction but not distance?
Let me look into under the actual spells, since it's not giving me. Finishes. What the heck? I guess it has. I don't know. I think this is different. I don't know. I guess they changed it. I don't know if this is 2024. Says yeah, maybe she doesn't know where it is. I thought it marked.
Well, here. This is actually kind of good. We'll say that this is how it went down. You were aware of her being right here, but then suddenly you were aware of it just boom out of your range instantly.
Okay. Okay. She's just doing that, and other than that, she will go to the middle of the area and look around at the whole entire group, thinking to himself, "It's like factions are involved now, and she needs to just gather all the information that she can on this lands." And her first things is to start trying to make a network of information and allies. So she would just go to Seoul basically and Kerrigan and say to Soul, freak it, she'll just cast tongues on Kerrigan and
says, "Well, I think now we're in the thick of it all. We'll definitely end Vira's targets now.
Yes.
So we're definitely going to have to find allies. We're going to have to work on knowledge. And since we're seeming to stay for the long haul here, it's time that we, I suppose, work the best we can as a group. Though I admit,
looking back at Hector, Luna, and Lotto, and then Kerrigan.
I've grown accustomed to the rest of the party. I guess it's time for me to get to know you and Valine. It's time for us to work as a unit.
I agree.
Otherwise, we will not survive here. And so, I think it is time for us to plan once we get a rest and figure out what we can do at the fort without you gaining attention, and then see if we can gain audience with the rest of the villages, the orcs.
I agree. We have a long road ahead of us.
And then for one final question, she'll look over at Kerrigan and says,
Do your people know and respect the Great Bear?
Yes. Yes, the Great Bear. How do you know about him? You're not from here, but you know about...
I've spoken with him. He sat with me.
She's going to say, this is good. This is a good sign.
He gave me information. He told me that this is a world called Regenesis. So, I plan to use this in order to try to maybe speak with your orc kin and see if the bear will help me.
She's going to say...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, she's going to say, Bjornir is the Great Bear. He is the god of strength, protection, and deep connection between those who dwell in Norskal and the natural world. He's the guardian of families and warriors. He grants courage, unity, and safety. It's said that he watches over the people like a great bear watches over its cubs, teaching them to respect nature and draw strength from it. She says, my people revere him greatly.
He's the one who gave me the gifts to be able to cast this spell, tongues, upon you, to understand you. I only have 3 more uses of it, but he spoke to me when I tried to speak to my god, Morthil.
She's going to look at you with this strange look, and she's like, you are from the gods.
I'm from Solar, not necessarily from the gods, but
she's like,
who knows
believe
who controls fate.
She says, believe what you want. She kind of says as you're walking away, she's like, the gods sent you to save this place. I know it.
If we're going to do that, we better all work together then. And I suppose if I can put my differences aside, I will do my best.
And where is Valenthe going to go when she walks away?
Oh, she's just... I don't. Is that a fire or?
Yeah. There's a fire going there.
Yeah, she'll sit there and just.
So Kerrigan is going to follow her and sit by the fire too for just a second. And Kerrigan is going to look over at Valenthe and say, and she's going to say in giant, although everyone understands her because she has tongues, but she's going to say it in giant. I don't know whether to be very mad at you or to celebrate you or to love you or to think that you're the most despicable thing that I've ever met. She says, you wouldn't go with me to save my people, and yet you're here protecting these people. And she's like, maybe my people are doomed. She's like, and I'm mad about that, but then you're talking about working together, and I can't shake this feeling that you are sent from the gods, and you act like you don't know what I'm talking about. She just like shakes her head. Why are you so confusing?
Says, well, I have lived for myself for 70 years. I've never been around people. I just know that I need to help them.
And then Kerrigan is going to lean in really close, and she's going to say, if you are from the gods, I hope they don't punish me for this. And she's going to lean in to try to kiss Valenthi.
Oh, wow.
Not where I thought that was going.
Is Valenthi going to like try to dodge this, or is she going to accept?
Valenthi is going to confusedly stay there.
Okay.
And she's going to tense up for a little bit and then just be very embarrassed because other people are there.
Oh, yeah. Everyone is right there, which is kind of strange. You have a feeling that probably in Kerrigan's culture, this is not an unusual thing to do, probably. But anyway, then after a moment of kind of awkwardness, Kerrigan kind of pulls away and looks Valenthi in the eyes and says, I hope you are what I believe you are. Because if you are, then the gods have truly answered our prayers.
Well, then, if that's true, I hope the gods are with us. At least the gods of this world.
And then she's just going to kind of turn back to the fire and sit there in kind of awkward silence. And then we're going to go to Faylene. Faylene, what are you doing as the session wraps?
So, as Faylene caught a glimpse of what was going on with Soul and his noble steed, I think she gave kind of a wistful, somewhere between a wistful and a pang smile, because it reminds her of, things she loves back home and the special relationship people can have with an animal and missing hers. But as soon as she enters the cave and she sees 13, as everybody else is talking, I think she's just staring at this creature the whole time, glowering, and her expression gets darker and darker and more intense, and her fingers start to clench. And then I know this is inflammatory, but our little flame mage here is then going to run at him and try to pin him to the ground.
So
And
that would be
that's-
very easy to do. He was literally looking around Soul, watching Kerrigan kiss Valenthi as you grab him, and you realize he's pretty light and easy to handle, and he easily goes down to the ground. And when he does, he just looks up at you with his expressionless single eyeball.
Yeah, I think
There's a
she's
clang as he goes on the
really
ground.
forcing him down, pinning it down to the ground, and looking into the eyeball, and just did you tell them where we were? And that's where we can end the session if you would like.
Okay.
As far as what she wants to do, because she's so angry.
Okay. So she's not gonna fry him or anything right now.
No, it's I'm purely trying to intimidate him and figure out how the hell she knew exactly where we were.
And he looks back at you with an expression that is frustratingly vacant of any emotion. Not a single change in expression, just looking at you with a big eyeball floating in a glass lens. And then we'll go to Soul. Soul, what are you doing to end up the session?
I was actually Soul would have been going around double checking everyone else to make sure that nobody got hurt, nobody was damaged, wounded, anything.
Mm-hmm.
And if people were in if people had been hurt by any capacity, then he is going to he would have been starting to say his prayer of healing in order to heal up to 5 creatures.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I'm going to cast that.
All right.
And so, oh wow, that's actually pretty decent. So that'll be 14 hit points.
Perfect.
So 5 people can have that. I know 13 didn't take any damage as far as I know. Or no, he did.
Oh, he did take a little, didn't he?
He did take a little bit of damage.
Ice damage.
But yeah, I'm gonna definitely try and favor, the party members. So there's only gonna be one person, which Luna didn't take any damage, right?
She actually did take some damage. Her face exploded.
Jesus.
Nobody really saw what happened, and she hasn't talked about it except for to Valenthi.
Okay, what about Kerrigan?
Kerrigan took no damage.
Okay,
only
cool.
Lotto and I think Hector took some damage.
Okay,
Hector took 14.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So did Valenthi?
No, Valencia didn't take any.
All right, cool. So healing is going to be allocated to Lotto, Luna, Hector, Faline, and then 13.
Okay. When you heal Luna, she just like looks up at you, and you see that her mouth, it looks like the corners of her mouth got like yanked open, like the flesh, and it was partially healed because Valenthi had healed her, but you finish healing it. She just looks up at Soul, and she's like, why am I such a failure at everything? Everything I try to do, I can't do anything right.
You are not. You are still learning. There is knowledge in failure.
She's like, I just feel like I'm never going to be anything but a big disappointment. It's a wonder you guys don't just kick me out.
Mm-hmm.
And she just like looks down and sinks down to the ground and like puts her hands around her knees and just kind of sulks in the corner. Now, at this point, we're going to go to just a quick little cutscene, and then we're going to be done. End it off with a little bit of a just a quick little thing. Oh, that's the wrong music. We got to find that. Somewhere in a room that's dark with wood cabin walls and an oak table, a figure sits. He looks like this.
Oh, Jesus.
And he's sitting there and he's reading a book. Very poised and proper, sitting up straight. There's one candle beside him on the table. He's got these black leather gloves he's wearing as he turns the page. Every movement of his hand very precise. There's a big ring on his left ring finger. It's a flaming bumblebee. And then in front of him, there's a big magical as Vira appears. Face burned to a crisp. Knife sword slash on her cheek. One eye literally gouged out by a hawk and bleeding and burnt out. She lands on the ground heaving. And this figure just kind of like looks up at her and goes, And he closes his book and lays it on the table. And then he's like, I see. They were a bit more than you bargained for, maybe. These Dragonborn, they are special, are they not? Did I not warn you, my little fey princess? And he kind of holds out a gloved hand and grabs her by the chin. She like looks up at him. You see this like wince of fear in her eye, like she's afraid of what he's going to do to her. And he says, "It is okay. It is no matter. You had a bit of a lesson coming to you, I think, yes? The way I see it, our master will perhaps be inclined to overlook this if I give you a good word. But I do believe that failure on this magnitude twice will not be tolerated. I believe, my little forest child, you are on your last legs. You must not fail me again. Do you understand this? You understand this very well?" And then she would look at him. I swear it, Dr. Belkin. I won't fail you again. But he wouldn't. And then he says, he interrupts and says, the Dragonborn, he would not step aside, would he? Yes, no, this is to be expected. He is not from here. He has come through the phenomena. See, he's from a different world. And then he kind of grabs her with both hands, like violently, and kind of pushes her head down to the floor. He says, therefore, you must make him obey us, and you must bring him to the master. Do I make myself perfectly clear? And then she just like nods her head. And he's like, very good. And then he like lets her up again. He says, so this time, you will bring the Dragonborn to me. And there'll be no question. We understand each other very good, yes? And then she like shakes her head. And she like wipes the eye that's now like bleeding again because he grabbed her. And he's like, do not disappoint me. And then he kind of reaches out and strokes her chin with his gloved hand again. He's like, oh, what a shame. You were so lovely before. Now you're just another broken thing. Oh, well, no matter. And then he just like picks up his book again. And then he kind of like looks over the rim of the book at her and he's like, shoot, make it so. And then she turns and like runs out the door. And that's where we end the cutscene. And that will be the end of the session. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in who was watching. We want to give a big shout out to our gold level Ko-Fi supporters, including Craig for supporting the channel and the Discord and the YouTube and everything else we do. Join the Discord with us if you want to be awesome like us and play awesome games like us. Join the GM Philosophy Discord. Thank you to all the players for jumping in and playing. I had a great time, and we will see you next Tuesday for episode 9 of the Barren Lands.